I need that sports encyclopedia. Where you at, Steve Kim? Got Trent in the cut.
Coach JB.
Yeah. Where you at, man? In the gym shooting, I'm Durant. You ain't shooting John Morant.
Darnell is the Ball State legend. I'm the Warren Central High School legend.
I'm proving with a reliable source, straight from the mouth of the horse. Smitty and JB and Smitty from West Coast to Yost.
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
Better stay in your lane. Hop into
You are fucking insane. Dude, what? You just will not give this guy his flowers. What is wrong with you?
Oh, you must have thought I was a bitch.
I am him. Use not it. What's the topic? With your logic when I flow. Big Komodo, how it's talking.
You gotta get back to letting the baby cry a little bit to see if they can soothe themselves.
That's a bar.
Issues get pressed so fast it don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown killed it, yeah, it's a rap. We what the game's been missing, we switched it and filled the gap.
I identified him after his third fight, and I said that guy should be a star.
I'm so proud of the show, bro.
The gas, Smitty and Jason Brown.
Coach JB show.
What up? It is Free Game Friday. I'm fired up, and I will be free to get I will be fearless in this motherfucker. Let's get it going. I'm not loaded today, but I'm speaking like it. We got a lot going on. Big Shaun, King's going to join us. We're going to break down the entire NFC, every single team, every single roster, and every single quarterback. We will break it up and break down every single quarterback and watch film on them all. So get ready, strap in, because it will be a loaded one like no other show on planet Earth. Of course, Big Smitty's here. I'll bring him in a second. Big Matt McChesney will join us. We're going to talk about some Colorado Buffs. They got 30 new transfers in fucking summer. We're going to dive into that as well. Don't miss it. But first, pound the like, subscribe, become a member. Head on over to Slap Nation, our Discord, plus winnable /slap picks are hitting. Cappers from every sport are there. Go check out our first down plan. And then head on over to Bet Online and Prize Picks as you can get prop bets or buy the line. Check it out. BetOnline.ag. Use the promo code Coach JB plus Prize Picks, promo code Coach JB. All your props over there. Let's dive into some things here right off the jump. Rick Carlisle truly disappointed me last night as I rock my new visor, Coach JB Show with Big Smitty visor. We will update them, but these are brand new. They are fire. You can catch them on the Coach JB Show store, CoachJBStore.com. All the new merch, all the new gear. We got Adidas polos, visors, you name it, we got it. Short, fat, skinny, tall, we got it all. Rick Carlisle truly disappointed me last night as he bought into this soft era of player empowerment by sitting his best players, Siakam, for the last 9 minutes of the game. And he says he did it to try shit out. He said he wanted to see McDermott play. Now listen, man, what the hell are we doing here? Is this February midseason tournament or something I don't know about? We know who McDermott is, Coach Carlisle. He's been in this league for quite some time. I have seen him. You have seen him. Everyone in the chat has seen him. And you say you're trying out lineups to bring energy in a game 2 of an Eastern Conference Finals. You conceded, Coach. I got to be honest with you. You flat out blew game 1, and now you conceded game 2 with over 9 minutes left. We act like we haven't seen major comebacks in these playoffs this year. Why would we tell our team, let's just get back to Indy, fellas? It's okay. Man, I've been telling you guys, it's a hard watch for somebody like myself, and coaching has become catering to the stars instead of demanding greatness from the stars. Donovan Mitchell missed 2 games, gets the coach fired yesterday, Bickerstaff. Now we have Tibbs demanding and getting in players' faces in New York with an injured roster, and Jason Williams goes on ESPN and wants him fired for being too hard. I'm so sick of these pussy takes, and the lack of leaders in professional sports are glaring. And you wonder why the lack of leadership in this country is glaring, huh? Let's dive into the show right out the gate, man. The Celtics-Pacers game 2, hard watch, as I just mentioned. We're going to break that game down in totality. Scotty Scheffler, new video drops, and it don't look good for the cops. Louisville is probably not dropping the charges still after the video dropped yesterday on social media and everyone got to see it. Caleb Williams struggles in minicamp. No surprise there. Colorado transfers arrive in Boulder. We will ask Big Matt McChesney about that. Plus, rumors are Jordan Love could become the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Just a matter of time. And Charles Barkley clowns Kenny Smith after Kenny makes a case for the NBA future. Plus, Shaun King joins us on to break down the entire NFC roster by roster, QB rankings, and then we'll rank the entire league quarterback-wise. Plus more. But before we get my wonderful co-host, self-esteemed Ball State legend, Naptown's finest, 317 Far East Side great and AR5 defending, Lamar Jackson loving, LeBron hairline having, Caitlin Clark swinging, Fox Sports' very own, Big Smitty. Welcome, Big Smitty, in.
Yeah, y'all see the shirt? Be you. You know what I mean? You can't be the next man. I can't be JB. JB can't be I. Just be you. Be yourself, man. It's Free Game Friday. Your boy looking magical right now. Look amazing. My waves is kicked in. Hair look crispy. And it's Friday, man. We bringing the free game, man. What's going on, JB?
I wish your internet was crispy. That shit horrible. Already froze up and locked out. Do we see anybody? Anyone see Smitty? Smitty, you hear me? Here, can you hear me? Smitty.
Oh shit!
Garbage.
I didn't plug my Ethernet cord in yet. Fuck. Let me do it.
Is that real? What are you on? What you on? You got your finger plugged in it? I don't get it.
Damn. How I forget to do that?
What you mean, how you forget to do that?
Not because right now I'm just connected to the regular Wi-Fi. But
yeah, I can tell. I can tell. It's horrible.
Damn.
Why, isn't that just plugging it in?
Yeah, but I gotta get up. All right, hold on. Fuck.
Bailey, take them away. Is BPS to the fullest? See, that's why brothers get bad rap. It's colored people time shit right here. Because, see, we don't want to talk about this. Why y'all brothers and sisters is late to everything. Because y'all don't prep tomorrow, today. That's why you need an old, crusty white man like myself to get in y'all asses, pause, like I had to do with my players. Bailey, drop the video of me going after all the players that everyone seems to be playing on social media, but I ain't getting paid. This is what y'all need in life right here. Congratulations, you've been cut on national television. When I walk in and smell weed in the front row right here, it's fucking bad. Take a picture of this whole second, third group. I want them all piss tested today. Think I'm playing? You guys fucking have no respect. You either in or you fucking out. I'm not fucking playing with you no more. This is the real fucking JB. You better buy the fuck in real quick. Keep fucking with me. Hey, who don't have pants? They're right fucking here. Get them motherfuckers on. Hey, go the fuck home then if it's bullshit. Get down, Cottrell, fat fuck. Get down, you fat fuck. Blue helmet motherfucker, get your fat ass down. We played like some fucking hoes last week. That's what's on your guys' chest. I hope you understand that is on. I hope you understand that is last week. That's what's. Pause it right there. You know who that is? That kid right there, his name is Chance Main. He went to Colorado. He was there when Deion first took the job. He transferred. He's now at Texas State, and he got a shot, and he is right now made it through OTAs and the first week of minicamp for the Minnesota Vikings.
Shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. He can't block me, but shout out to him. Was he a tight end?
He's a DN, so.
Shout out to him, squad, dogs.
On your guys' chest. I hope you understand that is on your shirt, fellas. Everybody wants a piece of that shit. I say we piss on the bullseye. piss on the motherfucker and say, fuck. It smell like straight motherfucking pussy out there. On everything. Hey, that's on everything. What's happening, bitch? You sorry motherfucker. You bitch. You a bitch, homeboy. Hold on top, baby. Woo! Let's go! Come see me, motherfucker. Fuck this motherfucker, bro. Fuck this motherfucker.
Hey, he said all that talk, baby. Woo!
You weren't on the show. Carl Reed came on, were you?
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
No, but this week.
No, not this week.
He at the end of the show, he asked, because he knows him and Sims are cool too.
Yeah.
That coach right there.
Yeah.
He asked on the show on Monday, what day was he on? Monday? He asked if he could get Sims and I in the room together and video it and try to help save JUCO. And he texted me too, and I'm like,
Could you do it? Like, are you at a better place now where you could be in the same room with Sims and not like beat his ass?
I could always be in the room. I don't like. I'm not looking to walk in and fight anyone. But like, see, the thing is, when you have a pass with somebody, you say the wrong shit with that person, then it's gonna bring back out me dragging the motherfucker around the room. So that's why I was like,
You was hot right there in that video at the end. You was hot. Like you had.
You know why? Because we was up 21 in that game. That was the second year in a row that we should have beat them. We beat them the year before, but that year right there was a struggle. We were struggling that year, and it became like. Then he was out on the field. The refs didn't do nothing. It seemed like everybody wanted to film everyone else.
Yeah,
and that's what it was. I had a meeting with the refs, dog, and I said, "Listen, I didn't ask for Netflix to come here. This is like a real talk discussion because they were scared of the cameras.
Right.
And I said, it seems like y'all are on our sideline, and Netflix, where Netflix is shooting, and you're allowing other teams, coaches, and players to do whatever the fuck they want because you want to get away from the cameras. So you got coaches on the sideline all the way out on the fucking 20-yard line, and like Sims was in the show, and I'm getting told to get back because they don't want the cameras to come out with me.
Right.
But you got motherfuckers out on the fucking hash talking about me, to my players and shit, and I'm going crazy like, motherfucker, that's a flag, homie. But I can't walk out past the white line and you're over there on my ass. So like it was a major the cameras were a big problem.
So Netflix was actually affecting the actual games to an extent.
Hell yeah. Oh, bad.
Damn.
You know how many times I hit the fucking somebody, or I yanked out a fucking a mic or whatever. I'm like pushing motherfuckers. I get a fuck back. Alan was there. He'll tell you like it was a shit show. Like in the office, I'm trying to get in my mode during the weeks.
Yeah,
I'm in the office after we already lifted 5 a.m. I have my whole staff lift together in the weight room, and then players came in at 6. We lifted, and then we go shower, whatever. We're back in the office, and I turn the music up, and I put sound in throughout the whole goddamn place. So as the coaches, 5 coaches in there, I got music playing while we're recruiting, while we're working on scripts for the practice for the day, trying to make it like, I grind your asses hard, but I'm gonna make it at least, I got food in the morning coming every morning for the staff. I'm an asshole, but I'm an equal opportunist. I'm gonna give you motherfuckers everything that I ask of you. Right. So I got food, drinks, whatever, right? I got music in. These motherfuckers come in, shut the music down. Oh, you can't hear it. So I used to lose my shit, dog, on this Netflix crew. Like, motherfucker, I don't care about it. Well, we can't play it on the show. I don't give a fuck about what you play on the show.
Right. You figure it out.
Yeah, it don't affect my staff and what we do on a daily basis. So the second year got worse, man. And that's why it was kind of like, fuck, I couldn't do it. But why you miss is what I said, why I showed that video, because you all need old, white, crusty motherfucker like me, because that's why you all get stereotyped, color people time shit. Y'all late to everything. This is what y'all need. That's why I was the white boy with all brothers coaching them, getting them motherfuckers there, getting their asses out of the dorm, 5 a.m. Smitty not ready. Smitty didn't prep yesterday. And he ain't prepping tomorrow, today. Smitty,
I'm already ready for tomorrow.
I got to do that.
I had one little minor boo-boo.
Shit.
Ethernet cord. I was fully locked in, ready. I've been for an hour.
Hey, see, Smitty don't think outside the box, dog. Guess what the motherfucking the the captain of the Titanic said. He said,
What?
"Fuck, I made that. I fucking forgot to patch up that goddamn crack like this, and the motherfucker sank."
That ain't a minor issue, Hey, chat. He compared my Ethernet cord not being plugged in to the Titanic having a crack in the fucking ship.
Hey, did you make your bed this morning?
My wife's still in it.
Did you make your side?
No, because come on, JB. My wife is still in the bed.
I tell you, dog.
She got a little cold too, man. So T's and P's, man. She been
T's and P's. T's and P's. That matters, though. You know what I fired coaches for?
Why?
Shit like this.
Stop dreaming average. There's a problem if your dream ain't bigger than you. There's no dream too big.
What?
There's no dream to be too big.
Say it again fast.
There's no dream too big. There's no dream too big.
So you realize there's a huge grammatical error in this.
Yeah, there's a wrong too. His son made an error on social media. His son posted it, was moving too fast with the graphic and made an error. So I get JB. So JB, hold on real quick. I guess you were just perfect. All your spelling was flawless. Fucking bed made every fucking day. Everything on time. Never late. Everything was just flawless.
No. You got it wrong. Hold on.
I was just making sure. I'm just making sure. Keep it real.
I've never said anything.
All right.
I'm critiquing Deion Sanders. I call Coach Sanders.
Yep.
For the simple fact that this got out under your watch. See, it would not get out under my watch, and it did. So let me be clear. My social media guys did do things and make mistakes. And you know what?
Yep.
I fired some of them.
I've made a mistake. I made a couple mistakes at Fox before.
Yeah, it's very – see, the thing is that, like, I don't know how to explain it because it's so soft. You guys are so soft now that you can't say what I want to say. I can't talk like I want to talk.
It's Friday. Say it. We said everything. Just say it. Just say it.
No. I don't want to because I got to hear pussies in the chat and who are soft, who's never been asked anything of them or been demanded anything because they've always been had their asses kissed and tell them how great they were.
Don't worry about the chat.
But we are too pussy. We're too pussy now to check our work, demand that these cats do it the right way the first time, and I used to tell cats that's as good as we are. This is as good as we are at Colorado. Misspell a word. Just so we're clear, I want to be honest here. In my day, don't you love to hear when they say that? In my day, guess what? Who are we trying to attract to our university?
The best of the best, the top notch, the 4 to 5
stars.
So
let's be real. This is a really it might sound crazy and all that shit, and you can call me whatever you want to call me, but I'm as hood as it gets in this motherfucker. So anyone wants to come at me, go ahead, and we can talk it through, or you can meet me at the fucking address I send you in the chat, motherfuckers. Here's the bottom line: are we attracting hood cats with no parental support, parental guidance? Or are we attracting motherfuckers that want to play here and go on to the NFL? I need white boy O-linemen. Let's keep it funky. I need white boy O-linemen. Their mamas and daddies ain't sending them here, dog, because we're misspelling fucking things on our graphics. Like, let's be real now. This is a stereotypical conversation. This is a real conversation. White folks who are from bougie areas that got kids that are stereotypical, I want them to go to Stanford and all this. These are the kids Deion has been on record saying, I want.
Yeah.
Ain't going to get them, homie, misspelling a graphic. Let's keep it funky. Keep it real. You can say what you want to say, homie. If we're attracting hood kids and that's all we want, they don't give a fuck about misspelled words. Let's just keep it real. It shows parents, though, that you're lazy. You're not really thinking about the big picture. And I'm just going to throw out some shit, and anything goes out there, we throw out there. You think Nick Saban would allow a misspelled fucking graphic to ever leave his fucking office to go out on social media? Have you ever seen it?
I never looked for it because we weren't we weren't amazed by every single piece of everything Alabama did. But I guarantee you, if I look in the last decade, I would find something wrong. I guarantee.
All right, so look,
I do social media, so I know how this shit goes. So I guarantee I'll find something wrong. I guarantee
let's turn the question to you.
Yep.
Would you go there?
Yes.
No big deal. That spelling error has no. I'm talking about a parent. You're a parent, not a player. You're a parent.
Listen, maybe I'm young right now. That one thing is not going to deter me from me saying my kid can possibly go there. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm not looking at the big picture like you said. I'm not going to be like, damn, man. I met with coach. He seems like a great guy. I love the facilities. I love the direction of the program. You know, my son, they have the major that my son is interested in. Oh, but they spelled 2 wrong in the graphic. No way little Darnell is going there. I just couldn't see myself doing that. Personally. Hey. I'm not saying you wrong, but you asked me a question, so I'm going to give my piece.
Yeah. Hey, Bailey, come in, Bailey. Hey, Bailey, now tell the crowd and the audience that I pay you mildly, and you fucked up a name on the graphic last week. I think it was who? Redskins, or I don't remember who it was. No, Buffalo.
Buffalo, yeah.
Buffalo. And did I motherfuck you?
Absolutely. And I took absolute full responsibility for it.
When
does that happen? Bailey. I'll ask you. How many graphics
I motherfuck Bailey because guess what? His name is on the graphic when it comes out on the fucking YouTube. Mine. Not Bailey's, not Smitty's, mine. So guess what? All right, Bailey, go back and don't fuck up no graphics today. Hey, dog, Bailey knew he fucked up, but it got out already. This is exactly what coaching is. This ain't personal. It's business. You all think I'm the asshole, though. No. I'm going to get Bailey a big-time job. Bailey's going to get on. Smitty's going to bring him out here, put him at Fox, replace Smitty. Then Smitty will come on this show full-time. Bailey will become Smitty. He'll make money at Fox and produce this show, and then we'll get Bailey over in about a year, and then we'll all be here, and then Fox will have nobody. Let's move on to
everybody gonna join the show. The whole fucking
let's move on. Let's move on to the next thing, because I'm gonna be honest. Listen, is it a big deal to many of you? It may not be, and that's why a lot of you never coached. Like, let's be honest, not a big deal to you guys. It's a big deal to me. And listen, I'm half fucking around with all the shit I'm saying, but like, let's be honest, this is a very, very minute, detailed situation right here, Smitty. And I would have fired somebody or motherfucked somebody if that were to leave me as the head coach of a 4-year Power 5 institution. I'm just throwing it out there. Now, this is a real bad optic. I'm just telling you, dog. You guys don't think it's shit, but guess what? If that's not addressed, the next thing happens, and then the next thing happens, and then the next thing happens. But if you fire a motherfucker that fucked that up, guess what? Motherfuckers is like, shit, I fuck up this. I'm out of here if I fuck up a goddamn spelling. Yeah, it matters. It matters, dog. Ask Bill Belichick if spelling was allowed in the office, misspelled words. Go ahead and check it out. I'd have fired Smitty for sneezing yesterday like, achoo, achoo. That old fucking achoo. I want a man sneeze. I want a fucking man sneeze. Give me a goddamn man. Achoo. Then you would have kept your job. But shit, achoo.
My shit was smooth. I was like,
can we get to the quote of the day? Can we get to the quote of the day, Smitty? Brett Online.
What up, man? The real Coach JB here for the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty. We got a proud new sponsor, of course, for the second part of the year, and that's Bet Online. Continue to be your number one source for all basketball wagering needs, including pro and college hoops throughout the year. March Madness is here. Join us every Monday and Friday with Jeff Nadu as we will pick them and up-to-minute odds, stats, and trends. You can follow your favorite team's path to the playoffs with in-game live betting, contests, and all the best player props. Experience the world's best wagering platform anytime from your desktop to your mobile device. Head on over to BetOnline today. Become part of the team, and remember to use promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for 50% off plus welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. Peace.
Mr. Terrible's a hoe. I saw that. I was laughing. I just saw that. Hey, real quick.
It calling a grown man a hoe is like, damn, like
it's like a nobody. It's a nobody.
You ain't shit. Like
I just told 100 cats in an office in a meeting room. I was like, we play like some hoes.
You did say that.
Yeah. Fuck. Hey, by the way, somebody in the chat said it's only news because Dion did it. Now, let's break that down real quick. So let me get some square here because I see all the comments on YouTube and everybody. So, like, it's funny that all you guys come in and watch all the shows all day long, but then you comment and say, this show ain't shit if JB ain't talking about Dion. Then yesterday, this show ain't shit if JB ain't talking about RG3. And then the motherfucker said, this show ain't shit unless JB's talking about Lamar Jackson. Right. I was like, well, damn. So give me all the names I can't talk about. Give me all the people that I can't talk about on the show. Right. Because I want a list of everybody that I can't talk about and break down. And by the way, this ain't to like assassinate Dion's character. I can give a shit less. It's about a topic of discussion that I wanted to bring out a point about. Right. And I have fired people for it. It is what it is. And I want to see Dion hold folks accountable because that is what coaching is at the highest level. Like, this doesn't go down at the next level. I'm just telling you, this should not have been able to go out. And he should have read that through his Twitter and not put it out there. But anyway, just a little thing. And I don't care who wrote that. If it was Billy fucking Napier, I would have talked about it today, by the way. FYI, whoever your nobody ass is. Quote of the day. Let's get to it. Damn it, I don't have it.
That's white people shit. That's why you need a brother on here who's well read, you know what I'm saying, educated. Because the problem is you old white folks, you know what I'm saying? You old white folks come on prepared. That's why you got the bad stereotype with the old white folks, because y'all need a brother like me to keep y'all on track, keep y'all on order. See, if you would have prepared yesterday for today, then you would be cool. You're not prepared for tomorrow. You prepared today yesterday for today. Did you make your bed, homie?
Go ahead, baby.
Did you make your bed, homie? Did you make your bed, homie?
Quote of the day. Don't get it twisted. It's in there. I just didn't have it in there. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it.
Okay.
That was well thought out, by the way. I just didn't put it in my thing.
Hey, that's part of it. That's part of it.
No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created the problem. Just FYI. Contrary to belief, brought to you by Prize Picks. Head on over there. Big Smitty. You clap for them, and they are quiet for you. Pay attention, contrary to belief. I clap for a lot of folks, and then when it's my turn, they quiet, dog. They don't clap back for me. They don't support me. It's funny how that works. I sure put a lot of people on, as y'all would say. I put a lot of folks on. I sure ain't been put on by not one motherfucker, though. That shit crazy to me. Pay attention, contrary to belief. Because you'll clap for them, and they'll be quiet for you. Whole question. Can the Mavs really win it all?
Can the Mavs win it all? Keyword is can. So I'm going to say yes, they can. Why can they? They have a really good to great, I'm going to say really good coach. I don't give him great yet. Jason Kidd, a guy who's won it with the Mavs to play the key role. Also won the championship in the bubble as an assistant coach with the Lakers. So he's a guy who, Hall of Fame player, a guy who's won championship as a player, won as a coach, and he's really starting to build up his resume. Number one. Number two, you got Luka and Kyrie. You got star power. Two stars that actually get along. They play well together. Luka has a similar style as LeBron. Not fully, of course. He's a little bit more aggressive offensively, but a similar playing style to LeBron in some ways, which is why I think Kyrie and him coexist so well on the court. The role players, they're gritty, they're grimy, they play hard. You know, there's no egos there. Everyone's trying to be a king in their role. And I think that's why they can win it all. Do I think they will? No, but they can. That's the key word.
I got another poll question for you too, because that's going to be the lead-in of the show right now. Will the charges versus Scotty Scheffler be dropped? I wanted to ask you that question. I wanted to ask you that poll question. Everybody in the chat chime in. Will the charges versus Scotty Scheffler be dropped? Because let's start the show off. There's a video that came out yesterday, and I want to dive into it. He threw something in that motherfucker.
Or a clipboard or something.
Pissed off. I'd be suing him. And then those people right there, they're like an old couple walking in. See that?
Yep.
It's not like they're really alarmed, or they're not like there's some crazy shit going on. This motherfucker's all in his car. And
I thought the cop said that Scheffler dragged him for 20 feet or something. And
80 feet.
80 feet, and I ain't seeing no movement.
So 80 feet, he tore his jeans or his pants. His pants were thrown or was torn, and he said that he caught him with his bumper or something, and some crazy shit. First of all, he hasn't drove anywhere from that angle. Now, are they saying he drove from this side 80 feet and came in? Because the boy was running. It wasn't like he was dragging.
Right.
Or getting dragged. Very interesting video.
And then he stopped, though. Like, to me, the way it was worded before seeing the video was as if Scheffler was just fucking sped off, was on a chase for a little while, and then the mother was hanging on the end of the bumper, dragging him through dirt, and they made it sound way different than what we're seeing right here. He's going 5 miles per hour.
Yeah, probably why all the cops were kissing his ass during the whole tournament, because they probably knew they were fucked. Let me dive into it. I got a daily rant I want to take off right off the show with you on this thing.
Let's do it.
This topic right here. And I want to make sure we address this in the most gray area way, the most neutral way possible, knowing all things about what a lot of folks that are brothers think about the cops, what white folks think about brothers, what brothers think about white folks, what white folks think about cops. I want to break it out all ways, because it's the realest show on planet Earth. In light of the latest video of Scotty Scheffler, this is not a good look for police across America. We already have a negative connotation of police. We have been going through a police defund the police push due to certain narratives pushing that particular situation of defunding the police. But when you see video after video that goes against the reason for police or the reason to have police, then you have to make your own decisions as people, as humans. People make mistakes, no question. Then we have shitty people. There's a huge difference in taking shitty people and putting them in jobs of power to continue to be shitty people and doing a shitty job. It takes us humans to decipher through that, decide on that factor alone on if he's a shitty person or did he make a shitty mistake as a good person. This is a cop who seems to have possibly known who Scotty Scheffler was. From me, being a judge of character, that's my assumption. I think he recognized him. I think he saw him. He wanted to gain a bit of fame by doing what he ultimately did in that video. He shut off his body camera, which is a direct violation by their code. And apparently, from what I've heard, he has been reprimanded and possibly fired from everything I'm hearing. At least he's been disciplined and put on leave for sure. I saw that. Scotty Scheffler apparently has told the truth from the jump, and now there is video evidence that proves he was going to go golf. That's all he wanted to do. Our friend Jason Whitlock has said he was wrong on a tweet yesterday after Jason Whitlock stated Scotty Scheffler should have complied and stopped the day it happened. But we had zero video evidence, as I told Jason Whitlock to himself. and all we can do is assume. And sometimes assumptions make asses of us all. Smitty, we got to make sure we look at this in half glass full, half glass empty, whatever you want to say. I've had police act a fool with me and my homies in the car in certain particular areas. I've had black cops actually act worse with me than white cops, and I think that's a force. Like they're acting, they have to do it in front of a white cop. Like this is what we really thought growing up. Why the brother's worse on me? Why the white boy's worse on you? Like that's how it was when I grew up. Now then, I've had white boys that are asshole cops, and I got friends that are cops. And the issue is like there's good people and there's bad people, and I don't care what job you're in. Football coaches, police, players, politicians, priests. There's shit people, and then there's people that have shitty jobs. Cops have bad jobs, hard jobs, dog, because we're going to call them for help one day, and then you're going to want to defund them the next. And it's to me, there's always a bad apple, and sometimes that one bad apple ruins the whole batch. I just want to make sure, like, because now what this cop did is he's opened up Pandora's box again to where everyone's going to now come out and say, Scotty Scheffler's going to he's going to benefit from white privilege. He'll get off. That's what they're going to say on that side. Then the other side over here, the brother's going to be like, man, if that was a white boy, he would have got his ass whooped. And then you're going to have the defund the cop guys say, I told y'all to defund the police. And then you're going to have the guys defending the cop say, this is one bad apple. He fucking was an idiot. He wanted to fucking have some fame. And don't judge him by all of us.
Right.
And so, see, this one cop has allowed for a conversation to be had and create another discussion. And now half the world's going to say this, half's going to say this, and you're going to have the neutral side that's going to say, man, it is what it is. So it's a bad look. The cop fucked up. He's lied. No body camera, which is a Kentucky state law by police to have their body cameras engaged and on. I just think this is a very, very bad look by a cop. Look at this guy. Look at him run. To me, it's not like it's not a run for desperation, homie. That's a run to, I need to be the center of attention.
Right.
He ain't digging out, Smitty, like this motherfucker has cocaine in the car and shit. He's just like, Scotty, I want to be on camera. This is what it is, man. I don't know. That's why you got to know your rights a lot of time, man. You got to know how to beat the law. But your take on Scotty Scheffler's police, that now this police, you think, see, and I don't know the guy. And that's the hard part. You don't know this dude. What if he was a fucking A-list cop that's been helping brothers his whole life? Like, we don't know. And now we want him fired. And people want him fired. And then and we're up here making an assumption on a cat. And then what if he's an absolute shitbird? And he's just a piece of shit, and he's been violation after violation as a cop, and he's violated amendments of people's rights. We don't know. So, like, that's why this job is a very hard one as a cop, in my opinion. The hardest job, man. Teachers and cops. I got to be real with you. So it's a hard, slippery slope, man. And we don't know. Bottom line is we don't know. But I did tell Whitlock, because he came out right when it happened and said, hey, this guy should have complied, just like George Floyd, just like all these things. So at first, I gave him respect for calling out a white boy should have complied, which I gave him respect for. Since you're going to call out George Floyd, you call out this guy too. So that was cool. That was cool. But we don't know enough, homie. Like, now this comes out with us writing apology letters on Twitter. Like, I was wrong. Scotty was right. Like, that's why I say hold on a few days.
Right.
That's what we said on the show that day. I said, we don't know shit. We don't know enough. Let's hold back.
Because the story didn't even make sense to me from the jump. I'm like, why the hell? And I don't even know this Scheffler, cat. I'm not like a huge golfer, but it just said, why the hell would this golfer be dragging along a cop and speeding through? I'm like, it just sounded crazy to begin with. So I'm so glad that we got some footage here to see it. And like you said, I mean, I thought your rant was flawless in terms of the different narratives of how people are going to react to this and all the different angles from it. But I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, at the end of the day, we need more information in terms of, like, should he be fired? If this is his first offense, no, I wouldn't say he should be fired from the first offense. But if he's if he has a history of doing, wrongdoings, then yeah, he should be fired then, because this don't make sense. Like, what went through your head? Like, I'm gonna cut my body camera off.
Apparently,
you possibly thought about it.
And apparently this guy has priors.
Oh, well, to answer your question, if that's the case, get him up out of there. I'm like, I don't hate the police at all. Like, people always say, well, who you gonna call? It was an issue. Yeah, I'm gonna call the police because that's the only option, legal option. Because if I don't call the police and I handle it myself, now I'm potentially going to jail. So when you say who you gonna call, well, that's because that's our literal only option. Whether I love them, hate them, like them, dislike them, whatever, that's our only option, because the other option is me going to jail from doing something myself. So that don't, just because I'm calling them doesn't mean that I agree with every single thing they do or that they're so great. There are some great officers. Again, you got friends that are cops. I got teammates who are cops who I'm cool with, who I know are really good people. So nothing is all like, you should never say cops are bad. Like, in whole, you should never put anything in whole. You know what I'm saying? Like, people say black people are this, white people are that. Like, no, nothing is whole. Everybody has bad apples, and in some categories you have more than just a few bad apples. You have a percentage of that group that is bad. And if we do have evidence of a bad cop or someone who has a history of wrongdoings, let's get him up out of there. And if this cat is one of those guys, let's get him out of there. Not because he's racist or anything like that, because he's a bad cop. He's a bad person. Because I don't want him doing anything wrong to anybody. A white man, a white woman, a black man, a black woman, a Mexican, a Chinese, whoever. We want people out here to protect and serve, and people who really care about the well-being of our mothers, our daughters, our sons, our cousins, our sisters, and who really here to help us out. Are they going to be perfect? No, we understand that. But at least go out there with good intentions. And I would love to ask this man, like, what were your intentions when you turned your body camera off? Come on now. That means you went in there on some bullshit. You went in there like, all right, let me turn this off so I can act up and do what I want to do. And then y'all put together this big ass lie. And I bet it wasn't just him who lied. Probably his cops, his partners or whatever who was around him, because you gonna always protect your own. They're over there lying, and they thought they were gonna get away with it. And thank God the video got out, because so many times in the past, cops have lied and there wasn't any video and they got away. So I'm just glad that there was a video, and hopefully justice is served in this situation.
Yeah. It's a slippery slope, man. It really is. It's a slippery slope, and it is what it is. More shit will come out, I'm sure, but the problem I have is this, though. Louisville has still not dropped the charges. And that is telltale sign. That is a telling sign, because they're standing on business. And why? You just caught a guy. You reprimanded a guy, and you're under your force. He has a prior issue on his rap sheet as a cop. He did this to a golfer who clearly was not trying. We act like this motherfucker robbed Target and was on his way to fucking sell the goods. I'm trying to figure out, why are they holding on to this?
Right.
Why is Louisville just not come out and ate crow and say, you know what, we apologize to him? Because if I'm Scotty Scheffler, who's about to be worth over $100 million this year with everything he's got going, I'm suing. I'm suing for loss of wages. I couldn't perform to my peak. You had me stressed. I was in jail. I was falsely accused. Now it's you know how these motherfuckers are. It's a stress leave thing. I could have won $7 more million.
Yeah.
Now if I'm Louisville, shit, I'm dropping these charges and kissing his ass. But they're not. So, hey, are they doing it because they don't want to be the guys that said we let a white boy off, but then we fucking hold on to like Breonna Taylor, whatever her name was, and all those other folks whatever happened in Louisville? Are they doing that because they know they're going to take a backlash in that town now? Like, there's a lot of shit going on. We don't know what's going on. So can they just drop the charges? Can they just drop them because it's a white dude now? Because race is coming into this. Regardless, this is what's going to be brought up. So it's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting. Let's dive into the show. We haven't even talked about yet. We're gonna start it off with the Celtics Pacers game 2. Was last night. I started off the show very upset at Rick Carlisle. I do not agree with what he did. I don't agree with trying shit out game 2 of an Eastern Conference Finals. Eastern Conference Finals game 2, and we're trying out McDermott. McDermott's been in the league fucking 12 years or some shit. I know who he is.
Right.
I know who the fuck McDermott is. He ain't going to come in and win the game. Number one. Number two, we're trying out energy. 9 minutes left, dog. They were down. They weren't down 30. They were down 13, 14, 15.
The whole game down there, just that same, yeah. Like just
So I'm trying to figure out, why is Siakam, who only missed, I believe, 4 shots all game, they could not. They had no answer for Siakam, which I told you on this show. They have no answer for Siakam or Miles Turner because they don't have any Porzingis. So Horford's going to be strapped on one of the two, and Miles Turner can take you on the edge and hit the 3. Siakam can do it all. 4 shots he missed all game. He scored over 20 every game.
Yeah, 28, I think.
9 minutes left. You don't play him no more? Make it make sense, dog. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck we're doing. This is not a play-in tournament. This is an opportunity to go to the finals. And you're not playing your guys in a game 2. He blew game 1. Let's be honest. I'm a Rick Carlisle guy. I like Rick Carlisle. He blew game 1 with not calling a timeout. He knows it. Everyone knows it. We said it. Or demanding or echoing foul. Should have been. It was a coaching error. There's no ifs and buts about it.
I mean, you're right. I would blame the players on that. It was just some shitty passes and shit. But you're right. The coaches can always step in. Me and you look at it differently. But you're right. You're right. Keep going.
So you can hear me? All right.
Yeah, we can. When you were talking, I think it was rubbing against something.
So there's a coaching error, and then game 2, you concede. I don't care what you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it, you can call it what you want, whatever name you have for it. He conceded and waved the white flag last night. Now, the ultimate final was the 16-point loss. 16 points. It's not like 45. It wasn't the T-Wolves Denver 50-point game.
Right.
Like,
I don't know if he feel like I mean, at the end of the day, nobody knows his team more than the head coach. Maybe he's watching.
Smitty, how do you bet this? How do you bet this shit? Like, this is the problem. This is why betting is becoming top priority, in my opinion. Why people are think about that. Just think about what is over. Let's just say Siakam only. I don't know anything. I didn't bet last night. But if Siakam, let's say he needed 30 or
right,
and he had 29, and it sits 9 minutes. People got to start thinking shady business, right? Like, what do you think? Like, what can you really say right now with Ohtani in the news and all these different things that are going on with the NFL players and the NBA player, Porter's brother? Like, what can you really think? It has to be in the back of your mind, like, man, bullshit, 9 minutes?
Yeah, that's Rick Carlisle, though. He ain't got nothing to do with no gambling. I'm
not saying he is.
Sometimes coaches will if the energy's been fucking flat all game or whatever, and you kind of see the way the game is going. Halliburton had got hurt. I think his hamstring. He was out. He's your main guy. They were down like double digits the whole entirety of the game.
Pause right there, though.
Let's pause.
Halliburton's out. He goes out. He's hurt.
Yeah.
And your best player, Siakam, you don't want to play? So you conceded, homie. That's conceding. Like, let's be real.
I'm not disagreeing. I think the only thing I could think of, he was trying to see if we bring our backups in, let's see if we get some energy going. Let's see if we can actually cut this thing down to, 6-7 point lead, and then bring my main guys back in to finish it off and try to finish his run going. I think the fact of the matter is, like, nothing changed. He brought in McDermott and some of those backups, and the shit just pretty much stayed the same or slightly got worse. So he was like, you know what? We're gonna just take the L and let's try to get to game 3 as healthy, as fresh as possible. Hope we get Halliburton back, save some legs for Siakam, because we're gonna need a big time game 3 must-win performance to win this game versus trying to kill Siakam in a game 2 when in reality the game probably was over. Siakam's not beating the Celtics by himself. If you look at the whole squad, he's the only person who hooped for the Pacers last night. Miles Turner didn't do shit. Nobody else really did anything. So I hear you. It looks bad, but to kind of removing my emotions from it, I can understand how, from a coaching standpoint, he's like, listen, I'm just being real. The game, like the way I know my team, and the way we've been playing all night, we were flat. The energy was low. Celtics were playing at just a much higher level from the start. Let's preserve whatever energy we have and go all the way in on game 3 versus wasting it in this game 2 that I know we're about to lose. I think coaches often know when their team's about to lose. Like, it's just one of those things. Even me as a player, as I became more mature, it would be certain moments where I would never say nothing out loud, of course, but it would be certain like drives late in the game where I'm on the field and just the momentum, like you feel the momentum shifting to the other team. And it's like, fuck, I want to stop this shit. I need to go make a big play or something. But like, I feel this shit. Like, I feel this. I remember we played Iowa and we were about to upset these motherfuckers. It was the same game of the season, my junior year. We're at Iowa, 55,000 loud. It's sold out crowd. We're about to, we playing lockdown defense all game long. Offense was struggling. I was on the field like 77 plays myself. Like, it was a long, hot game. We get to like the last 2 drives of the game. We're exhausted on defense. And Iowa started getting their momentum. They go down there, drive, score a touchdown, boom. They get a 3 and out, boom. Back on the field. And they're driving. In the midst of them driving, like 3 plays in, I'm like, man, I feel it. Like you just know. So comparing that to the basketball court and the coaching, Rick Carlisle knows his team, and he's out there coaching. It's the 4th quarter, and the game ain't nothing really shifted all game. He's like, man, fuck it. Let's just concede, whatever you want to call it, and let's preserve this energy. It's gonna be rocking in Indianapolis. Let's go ahead and try to find a way to win these 2 games at home. So,
yeah, I disagree with every single thing you possibly could say. First of all, football and basketball is totally different. Football and basketball is totally different. You can't compare the 2 as far as momentum goes. It's totally, completely different. 2 different ideologies going on into a football and basketball game. Basketball, you can switch the momentum and change the game with the 3-point shot. The NFL, touchdowns are always going to be 6 points, and extra points are always going to be 7. The NBA, it's not. You can get a 3 and get fouled and get a 4-point play. You can steal an inbounds pass. You don't have to call timeouts like football. You don't have to worry about changing possession and stop them and make them punt. NBA, I can get a steal. I can foul. You can miss free throws. Total different game. Totally different. Momentum's totally different. Number 1. Number 2, I just want to point that out. Number 2, I get your point, but I don't believe that if, as a coach, and I know you spoke for coaches, and I'm going to speak for a coach, no fucking way you can ever say it's over. Let's worry about the next game. Because if you treat that mentality and you train that mentality upon your players, you will get shitted on in a game that's tight when you need them. Unless, when I was starting off building a program at Indy or Compton or wherever I've ever been, as always, coach balls to the walls and hold those kids accountable, hold that team accountable, and push them and coach them to the end so that the next game they understand what we demand here as a program. I don't understand that we lose fight with 9 minutes left, down 13 points. It's not 30. 13 points, and we conceded, and we waved the white flag. I don't believe there's ever in our job description as coaches should we ever concede as the leader of the franchise, organization, or program. No, ever, ever, ever. I thought it was a bad look. I saw his body language wilter as the head coach. I saw the team's body language. I pulled my 2 guys out. Miles Turner and Siakam were off the court, by the way. Like, what? For McDermott and fucking who? Dog, 9 minutes left. We act like our ship sank. Like, we act like the world was over. And now I got to go back to game 3 and act like I'm going to start over and just steal 2. No. You're not going to steal 2, dog. Your mentality's already fucked. You just set the tone. You lost game 1, which you should have won. And then last game was what Big Smitty and I was feared yesterday was the total depletion. And then it really wasn't that bad because Jason Tatum has no dog in him, like I've been saying. And he had what? 2 points at half? 2 points at half? And you still lost and conceded to a team with your superstar did not even come out and kill nobody? Jason Tatum had no killer in him. Jaylen Brown took the game over. Jason Tatum really sat back and watched when, in theory, both of them motherfuckers should be killing. And the game is a 13-point game with 9 minutes left, and you fucking conceded? And the superstar, supposedly Jason Tatum, wasn't even killing? Dog, you conceded an opportunity when your star rival, Jason Tatum, didn't even play well. Didn't even show up. And you gave up with that guy not even showing up. The odds of this inconsistent guy, Jason Tatum, the odds are next game in Indianapolis, he'll fucking have 40. And you're going to get blown out.
But that's the beauty of having a big two, you know, because, like, all right, even if Tatum might be somewhat struggling, Jaylen Brown can go out there and drop 40 like he did. And by the way, Tatum had a bad first half, but he still ended the night with 23 points, which means he scored a lot in the second half. You know, they had 3 cats who scored over 20 points.
He scored 17 in the second half or whatever. And look at the score. Look at the game, though. Look at what he did. Like, look at what he had. Like, I believe he had 6 free throws out of those 18. And then he drove the lane when the Indianapolis didn't even guard him. He had a dunk, an easy dunk late. It wasn't like please, if anybody in the chat's talking about he balled.
Nah, we ain't saying he balled, but like, yeah, he stepped up in the second half is all I'm saying. You know, regardless whether it's free throws, whether he figured out a way to impact the game in a positive way. Put it like that, no matter how he did it. So we'll see. Like I told you guys, I'm happy for Indianapolis that the Pacers have made it this far, made it to Eastern Conference Finals. I don't think any of us would have just assumed or expected this at the beginning of the year, even at the beginning of the playoffs. But the Celtics are clearly just a better team. It just is what it is. They've been the best team all season long, honestly, like dominating. When you think about the next best team to them, it wasn't even close in games 1. So, I think the reason why people don't believe in the Celtics is because of previous years. And I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. When you really break it down, what Tatum and Jaylen Brown have done in their careers this far, they're both like 26 years old. They've had a phenomenal young career. It's just the fact that they've reached high levels of success so quickly that the fact that they didn't win it all yet, we feel like it's been a disappointment. When in reality, it's like, nah, most young people don't even get to 4 Eastern Conference Finals that quick and get to NBA Finals that quick. They did it quickly, so our expectations for them jumped immediately. And now we feel like, oh, these guys just choke every single. They ain't choke. They're just learning and figuring out how to be mature stars. And I think now they're finally there, which is why I believe the Celtics are going to win it all this year.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm leaning towards you. If Dallas wins tonight, but I think Minnesota's going to win tonight. But I don't think Boston can beat either one of these teams in the West.
We shall see. We shall see, JB. JB, you want to do a quick little commercial break, ad read, man? Go take a piss, pay some bills, and then come right back, man.
Yeah, do that one read. So don't worry about guys coming in the show. Just do the fucking ad read, and then maybe we'll be all right. Let me get coffee.
Shout out to Rebet, man. We got a brand new partner for the month of May and even some of June. Rebet is ready. Take it away, Bailey. We're going to be right back in about 5. Don't go nowhere. What's going on? We are back, y'all, and we got some good news, man. We got a new brand partner for the month of May. Shout out to Rebet. Rebet is a first-of-its-kind social sports book. You can use Rebet coins for a free and fun betting experience while building up your status. Rebet has a sweepstakes model where you can redeem real rewards with your Rebet cash. They even have an easy-to-read lines that will help you bet like a pro. Over 60 major sports leagues, 3,000 diverse betting markets, and you can share your bets with your friends. Welcome to sports betting made social. Go download the Rebet app right now, today, and start betting like a pro.
Coach Joe, the head women's basketball coach of the Ole Miss Rebels. Clap it up. What up, Coach?
Nice to meet you, Coach.
It's getting ready to be a shift. if you're not okay with these players having some power, you got to get out the game. Straight up, or you're going to get ran out. I'm very particular on the type of kid I go after. Like, if they come in the door, I need this, I'd be like, all right, see ya. I'm still old school in the fact, like, I want the players that got a chip on their shoulder. I want the players that someone said they couldn't do it, and they ready to show the world they could do it. You know, I want the players that want to be coached hard, because they're still out there. There's a narrative. And yes, the game has changed, and, you know, some people say they're soft. And yeah, and that's true. Like, we came up different. Like, let's just keep it a stat. But there are some kids out there that still want to get it out the mud, still want to work, still want to grind. And that is where these coaches are messing up, because they're really not evaluators for real. Come on now, JB. You was getting kids from
People don't know, Coach. There was like, okay, I get 30 D1 transfers a year to come back to me, which used to be the portal, right? JUCO was the portal before what is created. Now JUCO is going to probably implode, unfortunately.
I want to speak for the coaches. We are not complaining that people are getting paid. The issue is this. When I came to Ole Miss, I was the lowest paid head coach in the SEC. I ain't had no problem with that.
Yep. Grind.
Done anything. As I started to win, I started saying, hold up now. Such making it.
Wait a minute.
But I earned it.
Yep.
The problem college coaches have with these cats is, you ain't earned it, and you talking about NIL?
Thank you, Smitty. That's what I'm trying to tell this youngster every day.
Now, if you earned it and you are All-American, and you see, because here's my philosophy. Everybody knows it's public knowledge. I'm $1 million coach, right? So I ain't get that on my own. My players did that.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, all my players got NIL deals. Shout out to the Growth Collective, because we all got to get paid up in this.
Right.
You know, because the days of this ain't slavery, this ain't.
And there's money.
It's money. So they all getting the NIL deals. They all being taken care of. And that's how it should be.
All right. We are in the building. Bailey, add that when you can. Shout out to my man. I want to give a shout out to my main man, Smitty. I want to give a shout out to my main man, Caleb Presley. Sunday Conversations. I'm going to be on there soon. But he just sent me a care package. I just got delivered just now.
You lying, man. Let's see it. Shout out to Caleb Presley, man.
So I don't know if you know, Caleb Presley started a peanut butter tequila, agave tequila called Chica Cheetah.
Chica Cheetah. That sounds fire. Ooh, I like the packaging. Peanut butter tequila?
Peanut butter tequila, got the hat.
Read the card.
Send me a note. Send me a little note. Yeah, let's see. That's my boy. Caleb's my boy. So let me see what it looks like.
I ain't met Caleb yet, but I love his content.
Damn it. Caleb, figure out your fucking packaging. God damn it. Can't even get the bottle out. Fuck.
Caleb, it's not your fault. JB he's loaded on this show right now. Ooh, I like the logo.
Chica Cheetah, peanut butter tequila.
Chica Cheetah, peanut butter tequila. Chica Cheetah. I like that.
Caleb's a former quarterback, played at North Carolina.
I would have sacked his ass.
He got, look, he comes with like a spoon, and he comes with like real peanut butter, like some shit, I guess, for the shots. You put it in the shot.
That's like jelly, JB.
Jelly and shot glass.
Oh, I was just thinking about that. If you drink that with a nice triple decker stack peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and you pair it with the tequila, how you say it again, JB?
Chica Cheetah.
Chica cheetah, peanut butter tequila. Chica cheetah, peanut butter tequila. Chica cheetah, listen, chica, look, I'm drinking chica. Don't forget the cheetah. If you got a girl, don't be sleeping. That's a cheetah. You get your peanut butter and jelly. That's your sandwich. Eat it with the drink, and now you pairing. Now you ready? Chica cheetah, peanut butter tequila. Chica cheetah, peanut butter tequila. Shout out to Caleb Presley, man. Appreciate you. Even though I didn't get none, I still appreciate you.
Fucking Caleb's got fucking free promo and shit. I ain't got fucking nothing. I haven't even been on Sunday Conversation yet. Bailey, let's clip this motherfucker. I'm sending it straight to him. Without further ado, Bailey, I sent you something.
Hey, Ron, shut up, Ron. I'm about to block your ass.
Let's add Big Smitty. Let's add Big Matt. Matt, why are you shaking your fucking head? I'm all about business today. I'm all about fucking business. Call it business.
It's something about Matt right now makes me want to one-arm stab your ass. I don't know what it is. Something about the way your fucking shirt and your arms. I just want to one-arm stab you right now.
Aren't you like 6 foot, dog?
Yeah, I mean, I'm underneath your pads right now. Soon as you fucking flinch, I'm right here. Soon as you flinch with your tall ass, I'm in your chest immediately.
You're right. You're probably gonna get me.
What's going on, Matt?
Shit. How you guys doing? Happy Memorial Day weekend.
Yes, sir. Memorial Day weekend, man. It's Friday. It's free game. We feeling good. JB just got a free package. He always getting free shit. You know what I mean? I don't get nothing.
I ain't got nothing.
You know I ain't got nothing.
Hey, Matt.
Super chats and stuffs are open, homie. Let's go.
Right. We ain't got super chat in weeks. JB got brand new visors and polos. I ain't got shit.
They got paid in 3 years. Shit.
4.
JB ain't paid me the whole time on the show.
All right, let's go.
I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know what we're doing today. Okay, cool. Let me start right here. Statement on the settlement. Carl Reed posted this earlier. You had
Carl Reed. Yo, I had Carl on my show yesterday, homie. Everybody go check it out. 0 to 60. He was on for an hour with me. It was fucking fire. He was awesome.
Yeah.
Go check it out.
I watched it, Slapdick. Think I didn't watch it? I commented in your fucking chat.
He's telling all the fans,
baby. People, dickhead.
I know. I already told everybody, though. I always support Matt. I always promote Matt.
I'll tell him again, and I'll tell him again.
I promote Matt like a motherfucker. I haven't got paid either.
Like a motherfucker.
The five autonomy conferences and NCAA agreeing to settlement terms is an important step in the continuing reform of college sports that will provide benefits to student athletes and provide clarity in college athletics across all divisions for years to come. This settlement is also a roadmap for college sports leaders in Congress to ensure this uniquely American institution can continue to provide unmatched opportunity for millions of students. All of Division I made today's progress possible, and we all have work to do to implement the terms of the agreement as the legal process continues. So, Carl said the 2025 recruiting class NIL collective promises are no longer valid based on this rule. This rule goes into effect January of 25. So you better go where you really want to play football because no one knows what the revenue split will be. So if you picked a school based on collective money guarantees, things are about to change. I read it the same exact way as Carl. I have said over and over, NCAA, non-caring assholes of America, will finagle their way out of paying you again. This is just a lot of verbiage that now kids have to attain lawyers to read through to make sure they understand what it means. Because if they don't, you're going to have a Jaden Rashad situation where he's going to be suing someone based on a contract that really is null and void because it's not a breach because there never was a contract. So
I heard there was a contract.
Nah, Michelle came on yesterday. There's not a contract because if that was the case, it would be a lawsuit of breach of contract. There is not a lawsuit of breach of contract.
Reed told me yesterday there is a contract. There's a contract in Miami too.
then Rashad must have the worst lawyers ever, because the breach of contract is the first lawsuit that needs to be filed. And there's not been one breach of contract.
No, that's why I'm confused too.
Steve came on yesterday. Steve knows the person that offered the money to Jaden Rashad, the biggest collective in Miami, and said the money was absolutely real. Yeah. But there was no contract, because if there was, then there would have been some sort of payback involved as well. If there was a contract, there would have been some sort of upfront money by Miami. Rashad would have to end up paying whatever that is back. What I do understand is Rashad did pay back, I believe, $100K because he got a certain amount of dollars. So he paid back $100K to Miami. So that means they fronted him some sort of money, Matt. And doesn't it remind you, Matt, of Pony Express when under the table money was happening? Because how did you get money from Miami, Jaden Rashad, if it was front money? Isn't that illegal? I'm trying to figure out. This is the Wild Wild West, homie, and nobody knows nothing, and it's a joke, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible. I mean, it's like a clown show at this point. Look, this is probably a good thing in the long run. At least you've got a little bit of like direction, even if it is the wrong fucking direction. At least it's some direction. Man, I foresee all of this getting way worse before it gets any better, but it depends on how you look at it. If you don't care about the money and you understand it's not our money and it's just monopoly money getting thrown around at these kids and it's just what it is, and you just are a fan, this isn't going to affect you at all. This is, in fact, it's probably going to make it easier for the big time programs to go get big time players. That just make it easier. It's more clarity. But if you're in the business, if you're covering it all the time, if you're a recruiting coordinator, if you're a coach, if you're Billy Napier now, or you're a head coach. I was talking to Carl about this yesterday, and now your money is on the line. Every time somebody has a bad day or something, a kid can sue you for your hard-earned bread instead of the school. That sets precedent. You know, the fucking courts are going to set a very, very, very unique precedent here. If they do this and Jalen Rashad wins, and Napier and Florida and Miami and whoever the fuck, a bunch of coaches and universities have to pay this kid $14 million, you're going to see kids suing motherfuckers left and right. I mean, there's going to be lawsuits coming out of the wazoo. Every lawyer in America is going to be calling kids going, did anything happen to you? Anything, defamation of character online, fucking, did you get hurt and they cut you? Was it uncomfortable? And it's like, and all of a sudden you have mental trauma and strain from it. Anything, dog. Like, did he call you a pussy and you identified as a dick that day? Whatever. Like, it's.
Y'all wonder why I'm against it. Y'all wonder why I'm always against it.
I don't know how they fix this, dude, but look, the money's here. It's not going anywhere. Kids are getting paid, and a lot of them should. But I'm telling you, there's a few of these cats that are going to make it hard on everyone, and that's usually how it goes.
So so let me get this straight. We're going to allow a kid to privately record a coach, which is illegal in many states, without declaring that you're recording me. And then he turns around and is allowed to sue the coach that he recorded. Make it make sense.
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
It doesn't make sense. But again, like, look at the whole situation. None of it makes sense. There's a way to do this correctly and like get everybody paid and have contracts and structure. The NFL doesn't.
Yeah.
Why just copy the fucking model, man? And the teams that can't keep up,
put them under contract. Then put him under contract. Put him under contract, making sure that he cannot leave that school, though. That's where you got to do it.
That's what contract is. Absolutely, 100%.
That's what Steve Kim was saying too. Like put these guys like in like 2-year deals and things like that. Where like, okay, I know you're here at least for 2 years, so my money's gonna make sense. Yep.
And with the team option to negotiate or some shit,
right?
Like, and then actually teach these kids what it is. A college should be prep, right? Prepping for your next job. Well, they should be prepping them on how to read the contracts and how to fucking not get taken advantage of by an agent, how to pick an agent, how to pick a money guy, how to fucking manage your cash, how to do all that shit. That should be taught in college, just like they're teaching them how to play football, supposedly.
Yeah. Hey, G Wizzy in the chat. It doesn't matter if I said that Jaden Rashad was good or bad. You wouldn't know if you were wet, if you fell out of a fucking boat and hit water, motherfucker. What does it matter to you? You ain't gonna know if I said what he is. I don't know. He wants to know. He's just talking. Like, I'm gonna stop the show to address G Wizzy.
You just did stop the show.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said that. I said that on purpose because I want to make sure I stop the show for G Wizzy.
Oh, cool.
Fucking idiot. All right.
Good job, bro. You attained your goal. You got him to stop the show for your dumb ass.
Yeah, I know.
Good shit, G Wizzle.
Good shit, G Wizzy.
He's one of my biggest supporters, by the way.
You're like, hey, come over and watch my show.
G Wizzy.
That guy.
He's G Wizzle.
All right, let's dive into Colorado real quick since I have you on the show. I want to dive into Colorado.
Colorado, talk me away.
It was a huge error was made, man, on Colorado's behalf that had JB in shambles.
I don't want to talk about that with him.
What happened?
I don't even want to talk. No, I don't want. I shouldn't.
No, what fucking happened?
Nah, you don't want to see this, dog, because you don't want
to see this. You don't want to see this, Matt. You don't want to see this.
I'm telling you, man. As your boy, I'm trying to tell you, you don't want this associated with you. You have to deal with it. I'm going to keep it out of there. I already talked about it.
What we're talking about?
No, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about something else with Colorado.
Nothing to do with me?
No, nothing. I'm fucking with you, man. It's not that serious at all.
What the fuck,
Bailey, let's talk about the transfers. I know you guys just got 30 transfers, I believe.
30?
That are coming in the summer right now after semester break. I got to ask you just first of all, I want to ask you as a person that has to, I'm trying to put it in perspective for what you do right now. Because you're a coach and you're a teacher, but you don't coach a particular team. You coach a revolving door of players, which is like, it's a trainer, plus it's a mentor, plus it's a coach. So you're directly correlated, but you're not because you don't have a particular, team. But you do. So it's hard for a lot of people that can't understand it. They'll never understand it. But for content purposes, if you had a different kid every day come through 6-0, and you had to retrain 6-inch step, kick slide, club, fight wrong arm, pad level, every single kid, you would never progress in the teaching. You're starting over every single day. How can you do what college football is doing right now by allowing 17 different portal windows and allowing you to bring in 17 different types of kids throughout 1/4 of a year and expect continuity, a philosophy to be adhered to, a mission statement to be understood? How can this have success? Because Colorado's bringing in another new batch of players, just like everyone else is in the country at this particular time, Matt. And you and I know, Matt, in June, we're going to probably go vacation with our boys at the lake or whatever, build some camaraderie with the team we just grinded with from January through winter conditioning all the way till summer. We're now a tightly knitted group. Now we got a whole new group of motherfuckers that we don't know, we don't trust, we don't have any clue who they are, and we got to redo that. How do you redo it every single fucking semester?
Well, it's only really happened for a year, so we'll see what happens 10 years from now when we actually have numbers and stats to back it up. I'm not going to say it didn't work year one. That from a winning and loss perspective, 4-8's not what you want, but from a competition perspective, the two teams the year before 1-11 and last year at 4-8, and the amount of hype and eyes and national exposure, it's not even comparable. They lost 6 games by 1 score, so that's competitive. You would hope that those 6 games flip the other way this year, and that's a 10-win season. So they've got elite players at important positions. They have an elite left tackle. They have maybe the best quarterback in the country in Shador, the best player in the country in Travis Hunter, Travis Hunter's going to be a fucking freak. I mean, he's already a freak, but he's about to be super freak.
Super freak.
Coach Reed yesterday, I asked him if it was crazy to think that they could have 2 guys there for the Heisman, at the ceremony. And he was like, oh, no, it's very, very, very likely if they're good that Shador and Travis will both be in New York for the Heisman. That's huge. That's teammate shit. You haven't seen that since Leinart and Bush. So if that's the comparison we're looking at here, then I'm pretty excited about that. Joe Horn's an elite player. I love the Bentley kid at linebacker, Woods at linebacker. Charlie Offerdahl's about to have a big year. Offensive line got a lot better. People that I trust seem to think this team is going to be on the up and definitely a bowl team. So I think when it works, let me ask you this question, man. When it works this year, if and when it works this year, are you going to give them the flowers, or are you going to come up with a different excuse on why you don't like it?
I'll answer that when you answer this. When it don't work, are you coming off the bandwagon as a Deion supporter, or are you going to?
I don't really think that I think I'm pretty in the middle on all of that.
I didn't ask Colorado. I know where you stand and why you stand, and totally respect and stick up for that, because you should till you die. That's your fucking. That's where all of us should for our place. So that's not the question. It's Deion though, Coach Sanders. I call him.
Yeah.
I want to know: are you going to? Because you have had takes where you say, "Listen, man, I don't agree with you."
I criticize the shit out of CU all the time. As much as I encourage them and think that they're doing things right, I'm also the first one to tell them what they're doing is wrong. So
that's why. So your answer, your question fairly, like I always eat crow and say he proved me wrong.
Yes.
I won't apologize to say what I've said. I have nothing to apologize for. This is just my take, just like it is for everyone else's take that they.
Well, I will say this: if they don't take North Dakota State seriously, and I'm not predicting anything or nothing, but it's scared. That game's just scaring the shit out of me. Like.
Because it's a program. You know it's a program.
It's a huge crap game, and they're really good. And they go on the road all the time to beat the shit out of people all the time. Like, they've gone to Manhattan, Kansas, and won. I saw a graphic from, I think it's the last 10 years, and they've beaten 9 out of the 10 Division I Power 5 teams they played. They beat. And the other one was a bad loss, but the other 9 were dubs. So that's pretty good. So that's going to be a really good test for if they get by that and they can win convincingly on Thursday night to open the college football season. All eyes on them as they won them, because every game before the game, all eyes on me is bumping. That's the new fight song at CU, and I'm with it. That game at Nebraska at night is huge. At CSU, I bet you College Game Day's there. That game's going to be nuts. Because everybody in Boulder and Colorado is going to go take over the stadium. Nobody goes to CSU games in Fort Collins. So then we'll just transport the Boulder crazies up there to Fort Collins. That game will be crazy. Look, back in the day, I was associated with 3 CSU games where we got tear gassed after the game. That's how nuts they were. And I anticipate that happening again in Fort Collins. So, look, the Big 12 schedule is hard. There's some good teams on it, but I think CU has elite players at elite positions that they can build around. And I really do think that they're going to learn a lot from last year's failures. Like, you're either losing or you're learning. And I think that this group learned a lot last year. And honestly, the roster turnover, not only is it something happening in a lot of other places, not just Colorado. There's a lot of other teams that are turning over their roster left and right. But they don't record all of it and put it online. So, it's easy not to talk about them. I will say this. If they win 6 games, it works. So the bar is low in Boulder for success. And that's just because of the history.
Right.
So that is a benefit, in my opinion. I think you would have to have a monumental failure of a season where, like, I just don't see how it's possible. Yeah, like winning 3 games and like totally underachieving, and Shador looking like shit, and like maybe going in the 6th round or some terrible hypothetical that I don't even want to like cook up. I just don't see how that's possible with the competition, the way these guys think, the way Coach Prime thinks, the guys he's brought in. I just don't see how it's possible that they're not minimum 6 wins and on their way to a bowl game.
I agree.
I want to ask a question. Like, people in the chat are like, can you can you hate the coach and love the program that you played for? I said, first of all, I never said hate anybody. I don't hate Deion Sanders. I don't hate any coach. Number one, I never asked for Matt to hate any coach. Number one, to clarify you guys in the chat. Number two, you can absolutely love your program and not like the coach or dislike the coach, because that coach did not play at that institution most likely and has no clue what the mission statement is for that institution and doesn't implement the things that you went through as a player through that institution. So, yes, do you think Colorado alum really likes Mel Tucker today? Just so you know, I want to throw that out there. So, Matt, I just wanted to address some chat mumblings because
why do these folks not think I like Prime or something?
No. I asked the question earlier, and they were asking me, like, you're asking Matt. You're asking Matt. They're saying that I'm asking you to dislike the coach but love the program, and that's not possible. I go, it is possible because
it's 100% possible.
Yeah, you think they liked fucking what's his name last year from UCLA? Shaw? I mean,
Chip Kelly?
No, the fucking your guy's head coach that was just 1-10 before Prime took over.
Oh, fucking Carl Durrell.
Carl Durrell. You think the fucking alum like Carl Durrell?
No,
like,
they hate him.
You can absolutely dislike a coach that comes in. This is a meat market, and the pieces of meat is what they do. This is what they are. There's very few coaches that are full-on invested in one program like a Nick Saban or a Pete Carroll was. Willingham. You don't have that anymore.
I think Dan Lanning at Oregon. I don't think Dan's going to leave Oregon anytime soon.
Yeah, but it's like, dog. It's mercenary business not only for players but for coaches, and it has been that way for a very long time. Just throwing that out there. So although I do believe the coaches have the right, we've had this discussion. I also don't think it's right to leave a bunch of kids that you've committed to either. So I'm on record saying both of those things. And so absolutely you can dislike a coach and love your program. What do you mean? Fucking easy.
I'll tell you this. I am so lucky to play when I did. I had the same position coach and the same head coach the entire time I was in college. We had some rough times because of the whole Katie Nida thing, and Coach Barnett got suspended in the middle of it. And, but that consistency and knowing how much they gave a fuck is the only reason I got through college. Like, Coach Wilson is like a father to me. I was talking to him yesterday about, he saw the body bags on social media. He's like, we got to get these down here. We're playing in the title game this weekend because he's the defensive coordinator for the Stallions at Birmingham. And then Andre Gerard, the great Andre Gerard, who was an All-American at CU, played 10 years in the league. Remember the dude Albert Hainsworth stepped on? That's great. Best offensive lineman I ever played against in my life. He's the O-line coach for the Brahmas, and they're getting ready for their championship game and shit. So I really think that league's going to take off, by the way. I do. I think they're going to – I wouldn't be surprised if they expand and, like, the salaries increase. The ratings for the UFL are better than the fucking playoffs for the basketball and hockey, dog. So, I think it's all full circle on – I bring this up because in today's world where football is being just craved for, right? Craving for it. I think it's impossible to fuck this up because it's not just about wins and losses anymore. Everywhere. Yeah. In the NFL and college football, especially, college football is about making money. If you win, that's awesome, and we want to win. But if you don't, at least we're getting paid, and there's money coming in to the institution. Yeah, the NFL is still brass tacks winning and losing, and it always will be. But college football, there's going to be big time separation between divisions. I think that's the next big step. Don't be surprised if you see 80 schools break off and go do their own thing, and they need to. And then we've got to. I can't wait for the day when we stop referring, and I stop referring. I'm guilty of it too, to these kids as kids. Like, if you're going to go down this road and you're going into the military at 18 years old, you're a soldier, not a child soldier. So you're not a child mercenary football player anymore. Like, they need agents. They need money managers. They need a union, maybe. Reed kind of talked me out of that one a little bit. That's a smart motherfucker. So I don't know, man. This is a big issue. I'm not going to call it a problem because there's so many good things that can come out of it. And I guess it depends on the leadership, as everything does. It depends on leadership, decisions made, and then, the consequences. Are we actually weighing the consequences of the actions, or are we just making decisions based on the emotions of the moment? So I'd like to think that people involved are smart enough not to fuck this up. But then again, it is the NCAA, so wish in one hand, shit in the other one, see which one fills up faster.
Yeah, I'm never going to agree with the child thing because I just think they're still kids. I think that your reference to a soldier is one that I agree with, but I don't believe it's true. Like, this is why. When they're 18 years old coming out of high school and they go into the military, they're not being put on the front line without any training whatsoever. And I equate that to what's happening in football right now. Because we're asking 17. Yeah, so we're asking 17-year-olds to understand how to be a man at 17. So therefore, we're going to not call them a child. To me, it doesn't make any sense. It's an oxymoron statement. 18-year-old.
They're not going to get treated as, if they fuck up at 18 years old, they're going to be treated as a man. So you need to be treated and talked to like a man.
Yeah, here's my point though. We got to teach that guy how to be a man at 17 years old.
100%.
He hasn't been taught how to fire a pistol, and we're going to put him on the front line? Fuck no, we're not putting him on the front line.
Hold on. I never said we were just going to throw people.
No, I know. I know you're not. I'm trying to equate that to college sports and calling these guys.
When you're an 18-year-old kid, if you go into the military, you go to basic training. They'll teach you what to do.
Yes.
And you're not a child soldier. When you go into college football, you don't just go play in a game. They're going to put you through camp. You're not a child football player.
That's where I disagree, dog. That's my point. What do you mean?
And that's fine. You can disagree all you want, but if he gets arrested at 18 years old,
he's going to big boy jail.
Yeah, come on, man. You guys are moving the needle here.
I'm not moving shit.
Hold on. This kid can go to Colorado at 17, and you're saying let's call him a man, and he has yet to step on the field. He's yet to learn how to lift in a weight room. Or 18, whatever. Well, you can be tried at 17 as a man, by the way, in court. So let me just be clear. 17. But let's be clear. You can go to college to Colorado at 17, not really learn anything yet as a man. You haven't been taught shit. You just came from high school.
Well, then your father's a fucking douchebag.
No.
18-year-old man.
No. I'm putting it in football terms. I'm putting it in football terms as you want to call him a man because he's 18 in football. So I'm trying to just equate this. If I haven't taught him anything, you're saying he's a man, but yet he can go in there as a man at 18 and then demand I'm transferring because I don't like what's going on.
He can make any decision he wants. He's an 18-year-old man.
We haven't taught him shit though. How is he a man?
Time out. It's not time out. It's not my job to teach. First of all, if you recruit a little kid, that's your fault as a coach. You should have gone and recruited a man. Because I don't want 18-year-old children. They don't know how to fucking do anything, and their mommy needs to bring them to practice. So number one, I would never have that kind of kid around. Number two,
they're all that.
Well, I totally disagree with you, bro. I work with this generation, and that is a damn flat lie. It's a lie. The fucking 40 kids at 5 a.m. yesterday that are busting their motherfucking ass in here, none of them are bitches like you think. So that is an extremely broad statement that I'm personally, I think is just far-fetched. Maybe some of the kids you're associated with out there in California are soft as fuck and don't like it. That's all I can go with, but not the guys I work with. There's not one of them that is.
Hold on, though, homie. You've been on this show saying that you've had kids come in your place that are bitches. What do you mean? I got it on receipts. You've been on this show and said you've got kids in your thing that are bitches, and I see you tweet it out all the time. What do you mean, homie?
And then I'm also tweeting out. I'm also fucking tweeting out guys getting offered by Alabama and Texas A&M and LSU.
No shit.
Like there's a fucking.
Hey, hold on. Time out, homie.
You're not. I'm just not going to sit here and listen to every kid's a bitch anymore.
Hold on. I'm defending you right here. The reason they're going to Alabama, Matt, is because Matt McChesney fucking coached them and trained them and blew them.
It's because of them.
No, it's not because of them, Matt.
No,
You
so
put your foot on their neck.
all the coaches, JB,
Matt,
come on, dog.
Matt,
All
you
the
put your
coaches
foot-
are responsible for my success.
No, Matt, you put your foot in their ass for how long? You're telling me, Matt, hold on, Matt. You're telling me that 18-year-old Johnny walks into your place and offered by Alabama. Fuck no. You trained and coached and mentored that kid at some point in your career for a duration of time.
And the kid earned it.
Yes, I know he did, but he through your tutelage. We're dismissing the fact that we're missing a part here. We're missing a big part here. Matt McChesney coached the fucker up. He taught him how to be a man. We are missing this. You're saying going right in at 18, you're a man. No, you're not.
At
You gotta
18
be
years
coached.
old, you are considered a man. That's the law. I didn't come up with that shit.
I get what we consider it. I'm saying we can't address it as every kid coming out of high school as a man. I don't agree with it. I think you have to train that guy to be a man. He has yet to pay a bill. He's yet to put a kid through college. He's yet to fucking do anything of a man.
Again, but it's not the coach's job or the military's job or whatever to train a man. It's your father's fucking job.
Well, they don't. What if there's no father?
If you start trying to be a man at 18 years old, you're fucked, bro.
But what
It starts at 10, at
and Matt,
8, at 6.
listen, you made a Cali comment. Just so we know, most Cali kids are fatherless that I coach. So there's definitely a difference in me coaching them and probably the fucking soft pussy in Colorado, homie. Let's just keep it real. So I got kids out the mud over here that I got.
Again, I was going off of all you can relate to is your environment, dog. No one's hating on it.
First of all, homie, I've coached college 20 years. I've only coached about
JB,
6
no one's
kids.
hating on you, homie. I'm
not
saying
that. But
Okay,
listen,
good.
though.
Yeah, I apologize for saying anything bad about California.
You don't have to fucking
It's about the
apologize.
state in the world.
You don't got to apologize. My point is this. Fuck apologizing on this show. I'm telling you, 6 kids from California I've coached, Matt, in 20 years.
No one's hating. Again, Coach, no one's hating on California. I'm saying the environment that you're around is all you can relate to, just
but I'm
like
not
me.
around it no more. I'm not around it.
Okay, then I guess I'm wrong, and I'll shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ.
I really think it's a big misunderstanding. I think what Matt was trying to allude to is that currently, right now, today, he's in tune with the current players because of his training right now. So
Yeah,
he was
I'm sure
assuming
there's a ton
that
of
the
soft
players
kids,
that you
yeah.
would be in
And I'm
tune with
not.
right now today,
But not everybody's a bitch.
coaching would
But
have
and
to
I'm not.
by default be Cali kids. He's not
No,
saying
and I agree with Matt.
Right,
I am
right,
not.
right.
I am not in tune with these fucks.
Got you.
That's why I agree with
I'm
Matt.
wrong. That's my bad.
No, you're not, Matt. I agree with you. I'm not in tune with these kids. So I don't know shit about these kids. My point is, through 20 years of coaching, I've really only coached a few California kids, unless I was coaching in California. Most of them were national kids all over.
That's a good point.
That's all I'm saying. These
Look,
I don't.
Look, I'm not saying that every kid's tough. I'm not saying that every kid's a bitch. I think social media has, just like everything, it shines a light on every narrative in a advanced way. So everything is through the fucking roof. I don't know the answer to this question, bro, but I do know that for every kid that's a fucking punk that can't do it, there's 5 that figure it out. And the game keeps getting played, and there keeps getting guys drafted, and there keeps getting relatively good players on the field. And I'd like to think that there's some really hardcore kids in this generation that really love it. And the ones that I know that are like that are a breath of fresh air. Now, if I contradict myself because I've brought up some softy in the past, well, like you say, they're everywhere. So yeah, man, I'm sorry if I forgot about the softy. I don't remember shitty players. I can't remember guys who suck. I don't remember shitty players. Like I wash my brain from those guys immediately. So
yeah,
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying anyone's right. It just kind of is what it is.
Right.
Here's the issue I have. Look, but like if we get a kid, regardless, father, no father, whatever, you get a kid at 6'0" and he comes in, and let's say he lacked training, coaching, mentorship in high school or wherever or in the household. Matt McChesney, whether you signed up for the job or not, homie, are now the father, mentor, teacher, and coach of that particular kid.
And I dig that shit. I like it.
Me too. And that's what we do, though. That's what our DNA is. That's what our genetic makeup is. That's my whole point of it is we have to train this kid from 17 or 18 to be a man, even though he's legally 18 and a man on record because he could go to the fucking military. And to me, he still needs a lot of shit to become a man. A man raises a family. A man can do what you and I are now doing with that particular kid. Training him to be a man, and a man can go out and accept responsibility and take accountability in all his actions. These kids do not, because they say, I commit to school A, and then I go and decommit to school A. No, you don't take accountability, homie. And that is a lack of leadership, mentorship, and parenting. Period.
Well, I think both of us need to stop with the whole broad blanketing statements about every kid. And that's the problem here.
The broad.
We're both saying broad statements, and then you've got Captain fucking Jerkoff in the statement or in the comments over here, like, "Oh, JB's 100% correct. Oh, Matt's 100% correct." Just come on, dog. Go fucking eat your Memorial Day steak and get off our dicks.
Yeah, I just think that we do. We class, but
nice,
and I think before you jump out here, I just think we classify all 18-year-olds as men, and you and I know.
No, I'm just going by. I'm going by the way it.
Yeah, I know.
If the shit broke out and fucking Sleepy Joe was like, draft. If you're 18, you're fucking getting drafted. That's all I'm saying.
But let me ask you. Hey, to your point,
that's the fucking adult age, right? I'm wrong.
Yeah, but to your guys' point, you imagine some of these 18-year-olds right now going out there. They're not the 18-year-olds we were. They're not the 18-year-olds we were. Let's just keep that.
I'm not advocating for them to go do it.
The problem is, though, as we all know, there's 25-year-olds just as immature as an 18-year-old. So it's like, now does it come down to being a man come down to your maturity?
Year-olds that are immature like 18-year-olds.
So does it come down to does your maturity level make you a man, or is it your legal age? Is it like we don't even know the exact definition? I know motherfuckers who down there 30 ain't paying no bills yet. So I like, what actually makes you a man? Like, I don't like just.
I guess it's just between a male and a man.
I'd be honest, dog. There's a lot of definition. We broke this down before. The definition of it is it's got to be some sort of support role of someone else other than yourself, and non-dependent of another motherfucker. If you're 30 years old depending on mom, there's a problem, homie. And there's no way you're gonna coach. You're gonna coach. You're not gonna coach my kid or teach my kid at 30 living with your mama. Like we have that. I know a lot of cats, especially in the inner city. That's another stereotype. That is what happens in the hood. We got cats that are just stuck in their ways. They don't leave home, and then they use the excuse of, "I'm here for my mama, man. My mama getting old." Well, motherfucker, you never left the nest, ever. So I don't know. Matt, enjoy the Memorial Day. Appreciate you this week. We're going to dive into some NFL stuff next week as well as we get closer and closer to moving in.
Matt, are you barbecuing this weekend or doing anything?
Are we rolling Monday on Memorial Day, or we're off, right?
We rolling like a blunt.
Oh, yeah, it's a holiday, huh?
Monday's Memorial Day. Are we going Memorial Day or what?
Nah, we're off.
Yeah, take the day off. So Tuesday we're on.
Yeah, let's take it off. No, you'll be back Wednesday, though. I can't change
this.
Yeah, I can't change.
You gotta take Wednesday, baby.
Yeah. Wednesday, Friday.
Big Matt, are you barbecuing this weekend? You bought some ribs, some burgers, some hot. What you doing?
I'm going up to the ranch, going up to the compound, the old Triple Creek Ranch compound. 100 acres in a valley, 2 lakes, barns, horses. Beautiful. That's where I grew up. That's the home compound. We built back in the day. We moved on to it when it had a trailer on it, and we built our house. And then my brother, who's the foreman for the ranch and the facility, just built another fat crib on top, like in the big part of the lake. So it's awesome. I love going up there, taking my boys, and going up for the weekend. And he smokes the fuck out of, pork fucking ribs and all this other shit and macaroni and cheese and nom, 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 nom. So I'm going to eat my face off and then regret it on Tuesday, but I don't give a fuck, man. Tuesday's 5 days from now or something.
Love it.
All right. Hey, enjoy, man, and appreciate it. I'll see you next week. Are you on today on the show?
No, I'm not doing my show today. I'll let the Carl Reed interview marinate and go a little bit. We got about 10,000 views on it already, so go check that out. It was pretty dope. It was a great interview, so go check that out. And then everything, on the facility at 60 Academy, all the different platforms. Go subscribe on Twitch if you haven't already, and get yourself a body bag at 60equipment.com. The testimonials from Coach Rule were dope. I just dropped off a couple at Valor the other day. SMU just bought a couple. Coach Justice, Oklahoma. I got a call with Coach Fry at Ohio State later today. It's now in the UFL. We're sending a couple down to Birmingham and to San Antonio. So I'm going to try and get on the phone with The Rock. And I'm not bullshitting. Like, I'm going to try and figure out a way to like get with the UFL people and get the bag and everything. Little synergy. You feel me? And yes, this is a Bulls Rodman jersey because I lifted my ass off before I got on the show today, you lazy motherfuckers. Don't be mad at me because I'm swole and fat at the same time, and you're just fat.
Hey, I might be able to help you with the Rock situation. So let me.
Oh, yeah, for real?
Yeah. Let me make a call.
All right. I dig it, man. All right. Have yourself a great day. You have yourself a great day. And
Smitty, I don't just say shit. Shit I say turns true, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. And this is facts. JB is the king of putting people on.
Yeah, don't. But Smitty's too young. He don't know.
There's a way to connect.
Yeah.
Like Mahomes said a while back, I had to see it to believe it. I had to believe it to see it.
Smitty don't know how to wipe his fucking ass yet.
Ooh, get some dude wipes, dog.
Well, get some dude wipes as our sponsor, and I'll learn how to wipe it.
Like, do you not use wipes? You just use regular toilet paper?
For a long time, I did just use toilet
paper.
I use wipes.
You don't use wipes?
I don't use toilet paper ever. Never. I haven't.
You gotta use, dude. You gotta.
I haven't used toilet paper in 20 to 25.
How can you use toilet paper, dog? A dusty.
Real quick before you go. So you guys are. We talked about this a long time ago. You guys are 100% wipes and no toilet paper at all.
No, dog. No, I won't let. I'm not letting toilet paper touch my butthole. No way.
I go toilet paper, wipe toilet paper, like
that's a whole lot of fucking paper, dog.
Why? Why?
I know you got a big ass, but you're not right.
You got to end with toilet paper to dry that shit out. I don't like, as a man, I don't want to walk around with wet booty.
Well, I think
it ain't wet, homie. It's got alcohol in it. It dries up.
It's soaked in fucking water.
God, this motherfucker, this generation, homie, is so worried about saying pause that you're fucking so.
It's uncomfortable to walk around with wet ass. I mean, that's what you guys are into. No,
cleaning your butthole.
By me. If you like wet ass, that's cool. I'm cool with that.
I like wet ass. I like wet ass. I like wet ass, motherfucker. Hey,
we know you like wet ass.
We know you like that.
We know you like wet ass.
Hey,
Matt, JB probably get the dude wipe and squeeze it, like wrenching it. You know what I mean? And on it out. Yeah.
I don't make my own ass wet, homie. Hey,
I'll say this. If there's not dude wipes or ass wipes or something, kick rock. You need to go. Like, make sure that you're hitting the door quick because somebody's got a dusty butthole, and that's gross. That's gross. It's disgusting.
You got to use both, though, y'all. You use the wipes for sure, and then dry off.
You don't need both.
It's like that's like taking a shower and not putting the big towel around. You just walking around, it's fucking soaking wet.
How is that?
Watch that. I don't want to air dry my ass. I want to use the toilet paper to dry.
Hey, Mr. Go knows what's up. Mr. Go knows what's up. Fucking Smitty's still goddamn stuck on. Smitty's so stuck on. Goddamn, homie. This motherfucker. Hey, Matt. I gotta go, man. But this motherfucker said, I'm gonna wipe with newspaper, then I'm gonna use toilet paper, then I'm gonna get wipes, and then I'm gonna get a paper towel, and then I'm gonna get a wet paper towel, and then I'm gonna get a towel, and then I'm gonna use wipes.
I'm gonna spit on it.
This motherfucker's on the toilet for 35 minutes wiping.
I was trying to find my dude wipes, man. I got some dude
wipes. Your fucking toilet's got to be clogged like a motherfucker, dog.
Yeah, no shit.
Your septic system is like the guys down there like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
At least I know my ass is clean. Ain't no streak in my drawers. I bet y'all drawers right now got a fucking brown streak in it, man.
Nah, I use dude wipes, homie. My asshole is clean as a fucking whistle.
All right, I gotta go. Well, we got Shaun King on next. Matt,
he's probably not gonna have this conversation, so that's good. Look, I played center for a long time. Okay, I know. I used to have my quarterbacks walk up and give me dude wipes and be like, "Yo, this is just," and just not just me, everybody. Like every quarterback be like, "Yo, I don't need stank hand." My boy Bobby Pesavento in college. Okay, he used to have a center who we talked about earlier. And Bobby used to walk up in camp and just like walk up, and at 7 a.m, you're eating eggs, getting ready to go to practice, and he'd stick his hand right in your face. And he'd be like, oh, and he'd be like, I can't get the fucking steak off my hand. And I'd be like, God damn, dog, that's gross. But that's why back in the day, you know, like there weren't no dude wipes in 2000. There's baby wipes and shit, but ain't nobody carrying them around.
Yeah, I was a late bloomer to the wipes like party. I didn't like. Shout out to my brother. My brother Jew Jack was like, "You like." I was in his house one day. I said, "Bro, you using fucking like baby wipes?" Like, yeah, motherfucker. I was like, "Damn, this actually makes a lot of fucking sense."
So,
like,
you like walking around Ball State campus with an itchy ass?
No, I wasn't itchy at all. I just wipe a lot.
Hey, I like Mr. Go's my boy, man. Mr. Go, that's what I'm talking. Mr. Go making that big ass money.
Well, now, here's the real question for
Mr.
everybody.
Go wants the bidet. Mr.
I don't know why it's
Go
gone
wants the
down this
bidet.
road, but it sure did go quick. The bidet is where it's at. Let me ask you this: are you a forward wiper or a back wiper?
Ding, you gotta do both. You gotta do both, but you gotta do. Hold on, though. You gotta do both.
Towards the balls or away from the balls?
Away from the balls.
Away from the, obviously, right? You
Yeah,
gotta
away
go
from
towards
the
the balls, then you gotta clean the balls.
Yeah, you can't even wash down properly. Like, how do you even?
All right, we're out of here. We gotta go. I gotta.
Oh, you're not gonna answer, huh? That's because he goes towards the balls.
No.
Yeah, you won't answer the question because you wipe down. All quarterbacks wipe down. That's disgusting.
You red jersey fucks.
No, we don't. All right, we're out of here. Matt, see you Monday. See you Tuesday, Wednesday.
Friday.
Hey, Shaun King's here. We got a hell of a show, but we got, tell Shaun if he can hear me. I don't know if he can. Bailey, tell Shaun we'll be back in 4. We got to take this break and pay the bills, and then we'll be back in 4 with Shaun King for the rest of the show. And Jeff Nadu's mad at me. Jeff's supposed to be on today. He'll be back next week, but I had to finish this with Shaun King. So we'll be back in about 4 minutes with Shaun King and break down the entire NFC. We'll be back in 4. Here, this is the infamous one of the palm trees that Ash ate. So
Can't fucking believe you. See this fucking belt? You see it? Who just eats a whole fucking palm tree, man? You guys are fucking shitting me. This fucking unearthed the motherfucker. Ate the whole fucking thing. Like, who eats a whole fucking palm tree? Like, you fucking shitting me? Are you fucking shitting me? Now, let's shake now. Who did it? I'm gonna look at the fucking camera. Who fucking did it? Sit down.
Sit down. Sit. Sit down. Now, do we understand each other? Excuse me. There is no more fucking up palm trees. I'm tired of spending all this money, and now I've created a whole fucking barricade for you. So I don't want to have to dig this bitch out. I'm fucking dead. I'm old. My back hurts. I'm fucking stiff as a porn dick. Come here. Sit down. Sit down. Boy, if you don't sit your ass down. Now, you come over here with me. Come on. Here's what I had to do to fucking stop you. And I got a better, beautiful, bigger tree. So now we are shitting in tall grass. Replanted it, bitch. Soiled it up. Put a little trellis in here. Put a bunch of fucking stones. Look like Stonehenge around this bitch. And now, Ash, are you gonna fucking try to dig this bitch out? Are you gonna do this? Are you gonna do this again?
So I had to Ash, remember this? Remember you ate this? Did you do this? He ate once. I put this little moat around it. And just a sitting area. Come over here. We got the plastic basketball court and driving range. So if I ever want to pull out the big dog, that's our net. All we do is just slap down our driving range, you know. Bam, swing away. And that's where we swing into the net. Jimmy crack corner on this hoop. And here's my RV parking where I park the whips. Let's take you out and show you a few.
Out these double gates, I'll show you a few cars. Come on out. So right here, of course, is the bad boy. The last year they made this Cadillac EXT, one of a kind. Can't find these anywhere. And then you come out here, you got the 650i, BMW, ragtop, 500 to the rear, white interior. You know, you can't beat it. This is my baby though, my truck. Full sound, custom sound system in both. Top notch, only as I do. And obviously, this is my crib. Peace. All right, that's JB's Cribs. Appreciate you jumping by, coming by. Listen, it's time to go. Now take your asses and get the hell out of here. I'm about to go cook some slapstick tri-tip. It's been a pleasure. Now go home. Peace. Get to look down on the property. That'll do it. Real Coach JB's Cribs. Peace. All right. Smitty, let's bring in Shaun real quick. Hey, Bailey, take me out real quick and bring in Shaun with Smitty, and let me get this set up.
Yes. What's going on, OG? How you doing?
What's up, big dog?
Hey, man, I can't call it, man. Excited for this Friday, man. The weekend, holiday weekend.
I know. We got to get some exciting NBA, man. NBA been boring as hell.
I know, man. Just last night's game.
Minnesota Dallas was cool, but
yeah, they played tonight too. I think so. Yeah. I mean, I think game 2 I think it's gonna be a good one. The Timberwolves, they gotta win this, so they don't want to go down 0-2 at the crib. So
just something about Indiana that's just not exciting to watch.
What you saying?
I feel like Boston, New York would have been such a more entertaining series.
You think so?
Yeah, Indiana Boston's like, man, that's like sleeping pill or like. Damn. NyQuil, nighttime drowsy medicine. Shit put you to sleep.
I think it's just because it's Indiana, y'all. Y'all don't like this state of Indiana.
NBA is just horrible. I'm just telling you. You know what a telltale sign is, Shaun?
What is it?
Keep it real. There's a reason why Caitlin Clark even has any traction right now, because the NBA is shitty. Let's just be real. That's the reason why y'all talk about WNBA. There's a reason why the UFL, by the way, the UFL is up 800. It's up 37% from last year. The UFL is up in views. And I've been watching the UFL, and I'm going to be honest. Matt thinks it's sustainable. I think it's fucking horrific. That's just me.
It's just the quarterback play is bad. So that's what it is.
If the quarterback plays bad in the NFL, guess what the product is? Shitty. It's quarterbacks is what makes leagues, by the way. I don't know if you knew that or not.
I think defensive lineman makes leagues.
I like it because it gives guys that because the NFL's got a limited amount of employees that they can.
I know.
You know, so it gives guys that probably have the talent to be on the NFL roster. It gives them a chance to make a living.
Yep. And listen, I get that part and I love it. But the crazy part is though, like. There's a reason they're not in the NFL, and there's a reason why there is what you just said. There is a limit and a cut line, because I don't know how sustainable watching 7th and 8th string NFL players playing together. How good of a watch that.
But really JB, if we're being honest,
look, I got 30 players playing in the UFL. I love them.
on a lot of NFL rosters, once you get past the starting 22, the next 10 are probably special teams. Well, no, I tell you, the next 10 are probably back up big guys.
Yeah.
Back up offensive defense line. We have 32. The next 5 or 6 are special teams guys.
Yeah.
After that, salary matters. So once guys get in that 27, 28 to 33-year-old range, and those minimums are way high, or they can take like cheaper talent straight out of the draft. I mean, a lot of times those roster spots aren't going to necessarily the best player. It's some economics involved in some of that too.
Thank you, Zebby. Don't act like just because you're not in the NFL don't mean that you don't have the talent to be there. We know all types of cats who got overlooked for whatever reason. Fucking James Harrison was a damn undrafted. That's one example, obviously, but it just came to my head off the top of the head. But like, there's cats all the time that just don't initially get the opportunity, and they got a fighting claw to get their way in there. So I think there's some cats in the UFL who could actually play in the league, and they get them opportunity.
Yeah, still, you just avoid the fact that all those guys aren't good enough to play in the NFL, and we're watching them play in the league.
That's
anyway, let's
BS,
move on.
though, JB.
Let's move on.
Hey, JB, let's get some credit. There's some places like in this UFL that are supporting the hell out of their football team.
One place, St. Louis. That's it. Let's keep it real. Hold on. One place, St. Louis. That's it. The other ones are empty. The other fucking places are empty.
I'm not an expert on the UFL. I was more in tune the year before when they had the 2 leagues. But so I don't want to misspeak here. But there was more than one team the year before when they were supporting. I thought the Texas teams were getting behind their squads a little bit, but I got to pay a little closer attention.
No, so here's the facts. So when the first year it came in, all games were played in Birmingham because of COVID.
Right. And
all
cost.
Games cost. They practiced, they played there. So it was kind of a crazy deal because I interviewed for one of the head jobs there. So it was weird how it all worked out. Then they started to branch off and go places.
Hey, hold on, JB. Hold on. The chat is blowing up. They say Seattle is packed. They say San Antonio is packed. See, you know what you're really good at? You're really good at isolating something that agrees with your opinion and then being oblivious to the rest of the facts.
And JB's really good at making you a believer in what he says too.
You know what's crazy? I don't know who said that it's packed, but they're lying to you.
They said Seattle is packed and San Antonio and St. Louis was.
And they're fucking liars. And they're lying. JB. They're lying to you right now. Just pull up a video of any of those games and show me what packed is. I want to be clear. What does packed?
San Antonio is packed. I can't confirm.
Define packed. Define packed.
He's in San Antonio. He knows it. He sees it.
So, and I got 2 players on that team, and they tell me it's fucking horrible.
Call them right now.
Hey, Shaun, they tell me it's like fucking hearing pin drop in the crowd because nobody there.
It's all perspective.
JB, for all your good qualities, one of your qualities that we got to refine a little bit. When you wrong, you will not admit you wrong. You will die. You like
show it.
Slim. You like Slim Charles in The Wire when Avon was talking about we shouldn't be at war. And Slim Charles said, if we at war on the line, we fight on the line.
Here, Shaun, you know what it is I think we're trigger word. We like trigger words. So motherfuckers will say packed. And packed to them is one side behind the bench is crowded. The rest of the fucking place is empty. And that's packed. I want to be clear what our definition of packed is in this motherfucker. Because you guys take trigger words and then call me a hater. Nah, packed means the motherfucker's packed, Shaun. You played in front of packed arenas. This is not packed.
See, you're good at that. You're good at that too, because see, you don't went through the whole encyclopedia and you know a bunch of words. Neither myself nor Smitty call you a hater.
Right.
We said you're very good at.
No, I said the haters. Haters will jump on me and call me a hater because I'll say, no, it ain't packed. And these motherfuckers say,
hey, JB, in year one of a league, if it's 75% full for 75% of their home games, to me, that's legitimate.
St. Louis is packed, and it's always been that. But to be honest, this is the same league. They just combined now. It should be more packed.
No, because what they did, they got rid of the cities that weren't supporting it, and they created like new rosters.
Like a redraft.
So like it takes time to unbrand it, because I feel like, and tell me if I'm wrong, I feel like that one league that was playing when COVID hit has started to gain some traction.
That was XFL.
Right. I thought they were starting to like actually get some traction.
Well, they're just combined. That's the Rock. They're just combined now.
The XFL and the USFL combined. Basically, Fox Sports, which were USFL shit, XFL, which was ESPN, they came together as like a partnership and created the UFL. Took their best teams on both, redrafted the rosters.
Yeah, it's not a new league. It's just those two rosters combined, and then they started one whole. They just call it UFL. So
it was like instead of competing, we're better together, basically.
And one thing I would say, if anybody's watching from that league, listen, I'm all for the guys that created the standard and have done it. But I mean, Reggie Barlow,
good friend of mine.
What's the tight end from
St. Louis?
Anthony Beck. Those guys should be the head coaches. UFL. I don't want to look on the sideline. No offense to Wade Phillips or Big Stoops, but come on, man, give some of these young guys a chance to be head coaches like Reggie Barlow and Anthony Beck. Like, that's the one thing about that league. Come on, Wade, damn near can't walk off the game.
Damn, it's popping. Where's this at?
What are you
That's
talking
St.
about?
Louis.
It's popping.
That's St. Louis. I
want
you
to
the
go.
only- By the way, that's St. Louis. That's the most attended stadium in since the XFL and UFL started. USFL started. St. Louis supports the shit out of their spring football.
San Antonio like that too.
No, it's not like that. Stop.
Hey,
show me.
hey,
Show
they
me.
supporting the Rams.
Homie. All you gotta do is show me, homie. Y'all want to say it's packed? Show me, homie. I'm right here for the heat. Show me the fucking pack.
If you in the chat, whoever says Seattle and San Antonio pack,
Show me.
find us a picture or a short video, and let's make JB.
Hey, by the way, Bailey's from Seattle, and he'll fucking tell you straight out. He watches the game. Look how empty that place is. Stop playing. And by the way, St. Louis is packed, and the whole entire upper deck's empty, and that's packed. Just so we're clear. That's
we're not comparing to NFL yet, JB. Come on, bro.
Oh, we're not playing in NFL stadiums either.
Oh, I got the. Oh shit. Let me see.
We're only playing in a few major stadiums, by the way, dog.
That's a legit crowd for UFL.
Yes, it is. I agree. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just telling you, go look at Houston. Nobody's showing up the Houston game. DC during COVID was really good. DC was popping. They first few games, they came out hype. Anyway, USFL's shitty. Let's move on. I
don't know how we got to that. That was a 30 minutes.
I don't know. Because Matt said it. He loves it, and I'm like, listen, I love it. The opportunity that it brings the kids. The product in myself, just watching it. And Shaun, I've been watching the UFL, and we got friends coaching it, and we got players playing in it, and I love it. But I'm going to be honest. To your point, the old coaches are ruining a possibility of an innovative league that can be totally different than the NFL. They're not even running. I watched 2 weeks in a row, Shaun. I literally witnessed zero motion. I literally watched no movement, no trade, side ends, no flops, nothing, no back movement. And we're wondering why the product's very hard to watch. And then you got a quarterback that's not, let's be honest, they're really mid-tier journeyman type of guys that I wish I could coach some of them, but they're not very good because maybe the system is so stagnant. It's so hard. We're watching 40 fronts just drop into quarters and just play like 7-on-7 defense. And we're steady throwing into the shit with no motion, no dictation of coverage, rotation. We're just stagnant in there in 11, 10. I'm just like, dog, it's so bad to watch because of what Shaun said. You got fucking 79-year-old, what's his name out there, who's a defensive-minded guy.
Wade Phillips,
who I love to death, great coach. But damn, dog, let's get a young guy. Let's get Shaun King in that motherfucking. Let's run some Zach and Zip and Zin and Wulu and Hulu. Let's get some motion going. Let's get some motherfuckers caught in that. I mean, that's what I call all that shit. So anyway.
So, JB, hold on real quick. So you're admitting that it's better to have younger coaches in these leagues now because their minds are different, more creative, versus the old heads who you grew with. Okay, that's interesting. Okay.
It's not interesting.
So when we talk about NFL, we talk about, the guy for the what's my man for the Dolphins? What's his name?
Yeah, Mike McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel, who you always talk shit about. You're actually okay. I'm sure we stay consistent.
I would like Mike McDaniel in the UFL as he should be. I'm
gonna agree with JB on this one. Like some guys just, I mean, they've been going down the yellow brick road. Like I'm a person, like I think you should at least have been a coordinator.
Thank you.
Before you get an opportunity to be a head coach. There's only 32 of these companies in the world. I mean, can we at least make the qualifier? You have to have been a coordinator at that level. Good God! And where did this come from?
Bailey's the instigator. Bailey, I hate you right now. I don't hate you for real. I'm joking, but you know what I mean. You an instigator. He's like JB. You ever watch Austin Powers? Like mini me. Like Bailey's like mini JB. I want y'all to both dress up the same way. I wish Bailey had a fucking polo
Hold on.
right now. And
That wasn't him. That was not me. He pulled that up. I did not pull that up for the record. That's all I gotta say. Go back to yours. Go back.
All right. My fault then. I apologize.
I do gotta add one thing because I was listening yesterday. Shout out to Caitlin Clark. Everybody's looking at this from the wrong prism. Listen, this was 2 years ago when she really started to make people focus on women's basketball. Forget if it's college or if it's pro. This was 2 years ago when people started, for whatever reason, they were attracted to Caitlin Clark. They started to watch. Look what's happened. Asia Jackson got a commercial now. Kelsey Plum got a commercial now. The girl that was in the three-point competition, I can't pronounce her name.
Sabrina Ionescu?
Yes, she's got a commercial now. Like, there's a spillover to just the interest being on women's basketball. I don't know why people have to get so caught up in the particulars when these things happen that are good for everybody.
Well, you got like race baiters like Jamel Hill.
Yeah. You name call too much. You fuck with friendships up, man. Hey, listen, I'm talking big picture here, okay? Listen, the girl is good for women's basketball. Why can't we just accept that? And who cares?
Hey! You gotta keep it real. Your girl, your homegirl over there, Jamel.
Good God Almighty.
Hey, Shaun.
Hey, JB, you like a fire pit in the middle of the house, man. You just, every time you come on, you're trying to burn the house down. God damn.
Shaun, I done lost so many friendships last year being on this show. They just like, damn, man.
Hey, you know why? Because now you found your real ones.
I almost got fired at Fox fucking around with JB.
I don't call a whole lot of people friends, but I also try not to take direct shots at a lot of people if I disagree with their opinion, because I feel like we're all entitled to our opinion, whether we agree or disagree. I hate that we get so caught up in someone's opinion. Whatever we're talking about is not involved in what we're actually talking about. The beautiful thing is Caitlin Clark has brought notoriety back to women's basketball. That's good for all of them. Now they got to capitalize on it. It's just like this Drake
Kendrick
beef. Who cares who won? They brought interest back to rap music. Now it's up to the artists to get creative and take an opportunity to put something out there and make some money on.
But look, when you fuck up, it's gonna be out there. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have it out there. You misspell words on your shit, it's gonna be out there. It is what it is, and we're gonna talk about it. We're not gonna talk about Deion Sanders' glasses. We're talking about the misspelled words on the graphic, because that is what people want to discuss. Like, let's be real. So that's the only thing I'm saying. Nobody's gonna do. You're right. You should do what Shaun's saying, but we don't.
Right. But again, JB, in this social media age, let's be honest. I don't know who in the hell created spell check, but unless you actually take the time to reread everything that you're going to post or send, there are going to be some grammatical errors, because spell check will change some shit. How many times you texting your homeboys and you're like, I didn't say that, and you have to go back and send the right word after that.
Right.
So that happens.
Yeah, not under my watch. Shit, I ain't putting that shit out. Shit, you ain't getting no fucking misspelling under my watch. I'll fire that fucking whoever did that. I'm firing them, by the way. But anyway, let's move on.
I love you to death, man. You got that. I love you to death.
Hey, Shaun, mediocrity is the new excellence. Just remember, I would be damned to accept that shit. All right, when we accept it, you stop coaching it. You know that. All right.
You're right.
Hey, let's dive into the NFL. We got about 45 minutes of hard NFC breakdown. And I got a lot of film in. I got a lot of shit. I just want to go through this little by little. We got the entire league to go through. And let me get to it. I did about 3 hours of this shit yesterday, man. I think I should be a new journalist. I should be a journalist or some sort of reporter. I'm gonna look at. You know what I'm looking at? Not one misspelling. All right. NFC East, Shaun. We're gonna start in the East, and we're gonna start in the East. And this today, Shaun, I'm gonna go from my top team to the bottom. So let's do that, and then you can rank them how you feel. I'm just giving you my rankings, and I'll give you a rundown on each one. I'll try to be quick because I did a lot of work, and it's probably more than we can get in. The Philadelphia Eagles, in my opinion, right now, I would have to say they're one in the East. End of the season, they had an end-of-the-season collapse, and it was largely because of their poor defense. That issue may have been fixed with veteran newcomers and a strong draft class that features Keynan Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, guys like that. Perhaps that will be enough for quarterback Jalen Hurts and company to finish what they started in 22 as the NFC champs. Now, Jalen Hurts will again have the best receiving tandem in the NFC East with AJ and Devontae Smith, as well as Dallas Goedert. This group of skilled players got stronger with free agent addition Saquon Barkley. So that, in my opinion, got them over the top. But this team took a risk given all the mileage and injuries on Barkley that have accumulated over the last 6 years with the Giants. So we shall see how that plays out. It's also making gambles with Cam Jurgens replacing Jason Kelsey as the starting center, along with the defensive captain, Fletcher Cox, being gone. So now you got Tyler Steen taking over as the right guard, and overall the Eagles' offensive line should be fine with Lane Johnson and Landon Dickerson, along with Jordan Mailata. Now, during their season, their first season without Kelsey, the defense said goodbye to Hassan Reddick and signed Bryce Huff to form a strong pass rushing rotation along with Josh Sweat. And then you pick up Nolan Smith. So the defense, I think, still going to be good. This will be a pivotal season for interior defensive lineman Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis in lieu of Fletcher Cox dismissal. Where you at with the Eagles, Shaun? And how about this? I'll just go through my rankings, and then we'll go back through it, so that way I'm done talking. I got the Cowboys at 2. The Cowboys had a quiet offseason, which is scary to some, but they still have one of the best rosters in football. And they got Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, and Trayvon Diggs coming off an injury. But the team lost plenty of depth in free agency and will need a handful of rookies to become immediate contributors. Prescott is in a contract year, and he might have been entering a make-or-break season this year. In my opinion, I don't believe he'll be the Cowboys quarterback in 25, but that'll be another discussion Shaun has. They got a good O-line. They did lose Tyron Smith, but he was injured. And the Cowboys are who they are, I believe. They did not do a lot. They did get the Marshawn Nealon kid, and then they got the Marvion Overshown, last year's third-round pick, and then they got the Lufau kid, Martis Lufau. And then they got veteran linebacker Eric Kendricks. The secondary, on the other hand, doesn't lack experience and could be the best in the division with Deron Bland and Diggs at corner. The Cowboys could have an adjustment period getting those young cats up to speed. I'm going to put Washington Commanders, Shaun, at 3. The 24 transaction log reads longer than a fucking CVS receipt, but let's be honest, several additions on both sides of the ball. A GM, Adam Peters, made several savvy moves with Dan Quinn being hired. Listen, I think this team's better than a lot of people think. I think they got a good defense. They got a pretty damn good number one receiver. Let's just see what they end up doing with Jaden and that offense and what can happen there. So let's see how good the O-line is. They did get Austin Eckler. I like Austin Eckler with Terry McLaurin. They just have a rookie signal caller that Shaun and I will break down. But after fielding the worst group of pass rushers in the division towards the end of last year, after making a lot of moves, they did sign Dorrance Armstrong, Dante Fowler Jr., and Cleveland Farrell. And then they did, to I guess, make those voids up for Chase Young and Montez Sweat. So we'll see how they are. They did get defensive tackle Johnny Newton foot injury last year. We'll see how that ends up being. Their backers could be better. They got Bobby Wagner. I love 110-plus tackle guy a year. So defensively, I think they'll be better. We'll see what they do on. Oh, and then I got the Giants. The Giants should be better offensively with the moves they made in the offseason to surround Danny Dimes, my guy. But there are too many unknowns on the offensive line, Shaun, at the skill positions, and obviously with the play of Daniel Jones himself that we scrutinize on this show quite often with Smitty and yourself. There's no uncertainty, however. Go ahead, Shaun.
So, JB, this is a real simple division. And if you're looking at the NFC East division, it comes down to how do you rank Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott. Is Jalen Hurts the quarterback we saw take Philly to the Super Bowl, who looked mature beyond his years, who made plays in the clutch, who utilizes athleticism and had a perfect balance? Or is he the mercurial, highly paid, seems almost like Brett that we saw last year? Bad body language, disconnect from teammates, kind of had that, this is some BS, it's not my fault kind of attitude. So I think you look at Philly, they got a culture issue more than a talent issue.
So let's rank the Qs then. Let's rank the Qs right now.
I'm going to go Dak Prescott. I think what he's did consistently supersedes one great year from Jalen. So I have Dallas as a top team in the East. Roster's pretty complete for the most part. Of course, I would have loved for them to go get Derrick Henry. I think that would have been a huge addition. But they did bring Ezekiel Elliott back, which will help in their short yardage goal line situations. They've got some kind of chemistry issues as well. You heard some rumblings. Michael Parsons isn't happy. CeeDee Lamb isn't happy. Dak saying he's happy, but you know he's not happy when he sees his peers getting extensions and he didn't. But I do have Dallas at 1 because I think Dak's a little better than Jalen. I have Philly at 2. I have Washington at 3 because I think Jane Daniels has the potential. If Washington can figure out how to get some edge pressure, like they did bring Newton in, but they lost Sweat, so they don't really have an edge rusher. And that secondary, I know they upgraded a little bit, but I'm still got some question marks. If Jaden's as good as I think, I would not be surprised if Washington's pushing for second in this division. They got enough weapons on offense to be dangerous, and the Giants are the catfish of the division. I don't know what Brian Daboll sees in Daniel Jones, but if I got an opportunity to be an NFL head coach for the first time in my life, something I've dreamed of, my success and failure would not, and I repeat, would not rest on the success and failure of Daniel Jones. So this one baffles me that they haven't upgraded that position. Malik Neighbors, as soon as he got drafted by the Giants, called his offensive rookie of the year bet off with Jaden
It's a wrap.
That might be the funniest thing I've seen in a long time. But so that's how I rank the division. Dallas, Philly, Washington's kind of a wild card, and I think the Giants are at the bottom of the division. I don't believe in Daniel Jones.
And you don't have to spend too much time on me because I got it the exact same way that Shaun has as far as ranking the teams. I think it's a close one between Philly and Dallas. I think it could go either way, just depending on how those two games go when they play each other as well, and those tiebreakers. But as of right now, where it stands, I got the same order: Dallas, Philly, Washington, Giants. I think Giants are going to be horrible this year. They're still figuring out. I know there's rumors of Darren Waller might retire. He might play. I don't know what he's going to do. Danny Dimes, we don't know what we're going to get for him. They lose Saquon Barkley, who's their best player on their team. There's way too many questions there for the Giants. Washington has a lot of talent, but they're still, young, especially at the quarterback position. I think Jay Daniels can be good, but again, he's either way, he's still going to be a rookie, so it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve there. So I think the NFC East for me is pretty simple as far as the rankings there. So.
And one thing to remember about Washington, this is Cliff Kingsbury's second go-around in the NFL. And he did some good things with Kyler out in Arizona, probably did some things that he would change. So this is his second time having a talented young quarterback and going against NFL defenses. So you think he'd be improved as well.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Let me break down. So from 4 to 3, we can show a little film on each one. I'm going to rock with 4 first, and I'm going to put the rookie, Jaden Daniels. I like him a lot, of course. Been around him since he was a young kid. My buddies coached him in high school here. I just think he's going to have growing pains on a bad roster, similar to Bryce Young last year in Carolina. I got Daniel Jones at 3, even though I do think he will be the comeback player of the year this year.
Why are you willing to die on that cross?
I'm booking it right now. Comeback player of the year.
Like, what's the difference? What's the difference between Daniel Jones and Lamar Jackson? Daniel Jones plays the same kind of game Lamar Jackson does. So
and I say that all the time. I say that all the time. I say he's as athletic as a lot of quarterbacks in the league. No one wants to talk about it.
But I just Lamar's better at it. And you kill Lamar, and you're talking about Daniel Jones comeback player of the year.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones is like a dirty, horrible rundown version.
We gonna get off
watered down.
We gonna get off topic
like,
too much, but
the worst Lamar you could think of is Daniel Jones, like the worst version.
Y'all gave Justin Fields a pass though for having no O-line and wide receivers though, right? Why don't he get a pass?
He ain't get a pass. He's on the bench behind Russell.
No.
He lost his job to a rookie.
For 3 years, y'all gave him a pass in Chicago. So
I'm not saying Justin Fields is better than Lamar Jackson, though.
I didn't say, I didn't say that either.
Okay.
I'm saying we gave certain cats a pass. I'm on the same thing with Sam Darnold. We give cats a pass, and we don't even let this guy go. He went through the worst organization in football with the Jets when he got drafted. Then he goes to Carolina, the second worst organization in football with he's gone through 6 OCs and 5 head coaches. And we give other cats passes, but not the guys that actually have Shaun, you and I know, breaking down QBs. And I know you've been around Sam and you don't believe in him because of his demeanor. But talent-wise, this cat hasn't been able to show his raw, true talent yet.
He's solid.
What's surrounded around him.
He's solid. He's not spectacular, JB, but he's solid.
Listen, I agree. It's the same way with Daniel Jones, though.
But the difference to me between Daniel Jones and Justin Fields is Daniel Jones has always had the support of the Giants.
Right.
Justin Fields was drafted, and Andy Dalton was signed in the offseason and told he was going to start, to the point where he got in a press conference and said, "It's my time."
Thank you.
So he was always battling some foolishness. Then they changed coordinators on him. They didn't upgrade the roster until they got rid of him.
Right. But if we're looking at chronological events, okay, let's look at this chronologically because we're wasting too much time. Because I don't know if we're going to get through all this. We might have to do it.
Probably not now.
Too many teams, but we might have to speed it up. But here's the thing. Let's be real. He was bad year one. Dable comes in and he actually improved tremendously, even though
he threw like 13 touchdowns.
He threw 15 touchdowns and got a contract. I agree with you. I wouldn't have paid him. I wouldn't have paid him either. But my point is, he definitely was better under a legitimate ass coordinator and
head coach. They won game. Went to the playoffs.
Okay. Yes, they went to the playoffs last year. They go back downhill because of what was around him. Let's be honest. Look what happened. You got an injured Saquon. You got an injury. No tight end they get. We think he's going to be great. He doesn't even play. He's hurt again. Wideouts are horrific. They're worst O-line in football. And then we throw him under the bus. That's it. We didn't do that for Justin Fields is what I'm saying. He got excuse after excuse for having O-line, horribly O-line, bad wideouts, and then we gave him a pass.
Justin Fields never got paid either, though. So it's different expectations.
Different year.
Hold on, because that's apples to oranges. Let's go apples to apples. Ooh, shit. Daniel Jones is a starting quarterback of the Giants last year. 2 touchdowns, 6 picks. Tommy DeVito as a starting quarterback of the Giants last year. 8 touchdowns, 3 picks. Ooh. Tyrod Taylor as a starting quarterback of the Giants last year. 5 touchdowns, 3 picks. Ooh. So the other 2 guys threw 13 touchdowns and 6 picks. Daniel Jones threw 2 touchdowns and 6 picks. So that wasn't all just bad teammates. Because the other guys find a way to be more successful with those same teammates than he did.
Hey, then Foles is better than Deshaun Watson.
Flacco.
Flacco?
I mean Flacco.
I said it. Hey, I yelled from the rafters, JB.
Hey, but Shaun
got no excuse.
Deshaun been horrible.
Hey, Shaun, you're making my point for me though that I argue every day on this show. I've been saying that you can win with these type of players in this league right now if you get better assets around you instead of paying these mid-ass starting QBs. The fact of the matter is I've been talking about the mediocrity of the quarterback position in this league being overpaid for 4 years. This is my point. We got backups like Jordan Cooper. What's his name? Cooper Rush.
Maction.
5-1 as a starter. So, and I would argue he wouldn't have thrown a pick 6 in that Niner game they lost 10-9 or whatever. I would argue they win the game against the Niners.
Context matters. I like Cooper Rush. I played against him in college. I strip sacked them and won the game against Central Michigan. But at the end of the day, the Cowboys defense was playing phenomenal in that stretch. You better stop it.
And guys, I guess my angle is slightly different in that I think Joe Flacco can have success in the Cleveland offense, but ultimately when you get in the playoffs and you're outmanned against the Houston Texans team, he can't bridge that gap. Right. My thing is you got to hold the Deshaun Watsons of the world accountable. and stop letting them walk in the building every day feel like they shit don't stink when they playing like pure D hot garbage.
That's my point.
And so if I'm coaching Deshaun every day, I'm pulling up, well, look, at Flacco made it work. Like, why did it take Flacco to make us figure out that we got a tight end that's box office? Like, there's just some things that Deshaun got to be honest with himself about that all go back to him. And I think the lack of accountability once a quarterback gets paid is the issue in the NFL. Not the fact that there's some guys less talented that are better, but the people are afraid to hold guys accountable. Like, if I'm coaching Dak, like Dak, man, look, we got to be honest with this in the playoffs for whatever reason, man, you get turnover prone. So we got to find some balance. Because I agree with you, JB, for everything that went wrong in that game. If he don't throw that pick six right before the half, because Dallas had kind of stemmed the momentum a little bit that Green Bay had. If he don't throw that pick six before the half, I think, Dallas got a legit chance to win. That's a terrible, terrible decision and throw for a guy with his experience. Go back the year before in the San Francisco 49ers game. A guy in Dallas kind of had control of. Like, so if you're coaching Dak, you got to be, hey, Dak, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, come on, at the end of the day, man, look, we got on jerseys for a reason. Throw the ball to the guys with the same jersey we have on. If you don't like the look, guess what? Throw the ball away. An incomplete pass has never gotten anybody beat.
Hey, let me ask you something real quick, and this is not a comparison. This is just facts, okay? Lamar Jackson won MVP last year, and his stats, just so we're clear, he was 67% completion.
Mm-hmm.
He played 16 games. He threw for 3,600 yards and 24 touchdowns with 7 picks. All right.
And he ran for some too.
All right, don't worry about that. We're talking about quarterback.
Yeah, that counts.
Nah. All right, we're just talking about passing right now. Daniel Jones in 22 had better higher percentage. He had better quarterback rating. He had 3,300 yards on less completions and attempts, and he only threw 15 touchdowns to 5 picks versus 24-7. And that guy won the MVP. Daniel Jones getting shitted on. Just let that sit there out there. Let me resonate that.
We're not going to end right there. Every season is its own entity. Last year was a down year across the entirety of quarterbacks, number one. Number two, even when you're comparing those 2 years, it's a 10-touchdown difference down there, 9-touchdown difference. That's a lot of damn touchdowns.
No, it's not. It's not.
And then you got to look at the win-loss record as well. The Ravens was the number one seed, the number one seed in the AFC. So stop it.
By the way, Daniel Jones had rushing touchdowns too, homie. 8 of them.
And
what are you talking about?
He's a good athlete.
Lamar is in too then. And Lamar's in too then.
Hey, JB, you know what's missing, though, JB? Here's what's missing. And maybe T is doing it, maybe T isn't. I think T Martin's a good coach. But if I'm coaching Lamar Jackson, I'm calling bullshit on 67% completion percentage. Because I used to grade my quarterbacks on completion percentage, but also ball location. We showed a throw the other day. That ball's damn near 2 feet behind the guy, and he makes a great catch. That counts as a catch. Lamar's got to get more consistent locating the football in the proper spot. And until he does that, the Ravens aren't going to win a championship. And if you're coaching Lamar, you got to be on his ass every day, routes on air, throwing pat and go. Hey, Lamar, what are we doing? Locate the football. Aim small, miss small, right? See a little, see a lot. Like, just little things like that. Like, you got to continue to put that stuff in his mind, and then you got to be on him about his mechanics. Stop the flim-flammery when it's not necessary. The sidearm throws, the falling back, away from, like, all of that. Because sometimes, I'm telling you, that completion percentage can be fool's gold.
Yeah, look at Mahomes. 50% of his balls are at or behind the line of scrimmage. Let's just keep it real. I broke him down for 3 years now. No one wants to talk about that either. Let's get into the NFC East, though, because we're all over. My bad. I want to get into the final ranking here. You already made your guys's. I got Daniel Jones at 3, just simply because of talent. Jalen Hurts, I'm going to rock with that 2. I think he has a bounce-back year because he has to. And I'm going to go with Dak because it's a contract year. He has to shit or get off the pot. We know how talented he is, but I don't know if Dak possesses the it factor on getting his team over the hump. But right now, out of necessity, I think Jaden Daniels could be the most talented kid in the whole group. But right now, with the roster and the franchise,
that could be, JB. He 100% is. He's the most talented of those 4, but he's got to do it at that level.
Yeah, no question. So look, we got film on Dak and the Cowboys. Listen, if you can walk us through just a couple things that you see with him that you like and don't like, because Dak is going to single-handedly dictate how far this team goes, correct?
Yeah, I would agree. Before we even hit play, the one thing that worries me about Dak, if you go back and look at Dan Mullen and Dak Prescott at Mississippi State, Dak was a running quarterback. They ran so much QB run game. You never thought that he would be an NFL quarterback. But he's gotten success. He got injured. He got paid. And now it's almost like he's afraid to utilize an asset that he has that's elite. So I think Dak's, first of all, got to find a balance between that athleticism and being a pocket-only quarterback. Because Dallas, to me, is much better when he utilizes that gift.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that. I don't know. When the lights shine brightest, Shaun, this guy doesn't show up. He has a lot of Derek Carr in him. I get a lot of Derek Carr from him when I break him down. Like, listen, as good as Dak is and as talented as he is, you would agree, I believe, he's really, really uber stiff in a lot of areas mechanically. Like his feet aren't the quickest. It goes from 1 to 2. If he had to go from right half to left, I like to see his hips and feet kind of go with his eyes, and they kind of always behind. His feet and hips always are a little behind his eyes, and I don't know if that's off-season work or whatever he's doing, but, like, you know what I mean, Shaun? If we're on the hash and I'm here, I want to get here quick as I can. He's really stiff and slow when it comes to that, and I believe that's why you and I, when we coach him up, we say do not throw blind. That's the biggest thing we teach QBs. Don't throw blind. He throws blind that he did in the Frisco game. That's super obviously magnified because it was a pick that lost him the game. It's throwing blind is what cost him, and that is the it factor to me. You never seen Tom Brady throw blind. He always knew where he was going. Burrow's very similar. We don't throw blind, in my opinion. I don't know if he has that, and that goes to coaching, just like Lamar and what your point was. I just think you got to coach everything because if you allow it, it happens in the games, by the way. And when we allow bullshit drills to happen at practice and we're spinning the ball a certain way, I didn't let my Qs do any of that shit because it actually affects you in the game, whether you know it or not. So I agree with you. I think when the lights shine bright, he don't show up. And that's my only concern with him.
Is that a psychological thing? Because I think regular season Dak Prescott's pretty good.
He's super.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think he has from a timing standpoint, like if I was coaching a quarterback in the NFL, I would look at Dak Prescott's shotgun timing. I think he does a great job of getting the ball out of the shotgun formation, in rhythm, on time. I think he does a lot of really good things. For whatever reason, there are just some significant breakdowns come playoff time, like throwing the ball inbounds, was it 2 years ago at home against the Niners, the clock running out at the end, then going to San Francisco, turning the ball over in a game where, it's game management is we got to understand that our defense is playing lights out. This is going to be a field position game. Like, if we get aggressive, it got to be open. Like, we can't put the ball in harm's way. Like, there's just some games that are like that, no matter who you are at quarterback. And
let's break down Jalen real quick. Pop him in. Jalen, a lot of ride and glide stuff that they run offensively. Obviously, we see a lot of stuff they do with a lot of action with the Q because of the run threat that he possesses. Unlike Dak, when Dak runs, he seems to be getting hurt a lot. That's why I like your take that Dak needs to become more pocket present, more aware in the pocket. Jalen, you can do multiple things. He's younger, number one. He's probably more athletic, two, probably is. And then three, I like his progression. I like that he's gotten better year to year as far as mechanics. Now, a question about Jalen. Does he have the it factor? Does he know how to show up when it's big? He had 300 yards in the Super Bowl. But Smitty, if you look at the stats, a lot of that shit, he was +1 in that game, and he had 300 total yards in that game. He had a lot of rushing yards in that game. He had 2 rushing touchdowns, I believe.
He was balling though.
I know, but if you watch that Super Bowl, which we broke down, Sean Salisbury and I, a lot of things he missed in that Super Bowl that could have actually won that game, that could have pulled the game away. And I just don't know. So your assessment of Jalen going into this year, Sean, he's got to shit or get off the pot as well. Very similar to Dak, in my opinion. He had a down year last year, and now the book is out on him. Can he bounce back and prove the naysayers wrong?
Well, they've already paid him, so he's on the pot. He got a couple more shits left before they tell him to get out the bathroom.
Right.
I will say this. I think he's the rawest of the guys. Even he's more raw than Jaden, even though he's had success in NFL. And by that I mean he's not a natural thrower of the football.
No,
like, he's a super intelligent kid. He's great. He has great mental toughness the majority of the time. He has arm talent.
Great
but
father.
If I put him on the field in shorts, I think you'd probably be least impressed with Jalen.
Yeah, I agree. And Shaun Salisbury coaches him up here, out in Houston, and is real good friends with his pops, who's a coach. Pop's a great dude. I love the mental
Great
fortitude.
family.
Great family, mental fortitude of Jalen and everything that he's gone through. I love the fact that he has that in him. But I agree. He's got a lot of baseball in him, a lot of wind up, a lot of extended motion. Like I want to get rid of this right here, Shaun, because it's wasted motion. If we film it and I film you and put you on the clock, that 0.7 seconds that people don't realize or see as the common fan, it is a huge thing to us because that motherfucking ball in window in the NFL is very, very small. So from this right here to this right here is a huge difference. If I sock the wall in the release compared to wind up, cock, and release, it's a huge difference on a dig throw versus cover one or cover three in the hole versus in the quarter hole is a huge difference in a backer getting his hand on the ball because I wind up. And people don't want to realize that. I also wind up, Shaun. And what happens with Jalen a lot of times if you watch big games? Balls get batted at the line of scrimmage because of he's not the tallest. The O-line is bigger than him. So is the D-line. When you wind up, you allow D linemen to put their hands up. And that's another issue right there that I would like to eliminate from him. Get that ball quicker. Get it out quicker.
And JB, where I think it really shows up is in his deep throws. I feel like that's where he struggles on balls outside the numbers down the field. And I think that kind of quarter release, that's where it hurts him because the trajectory is so different on the ball coming from that launch point. Like Phillip Rivers kind of used to get away with it. Like he was an outlier. Like, but that to me, that's where it hurts Jalen.
But how tough is my fault, JB? Go.
No. I was just saying that Rivers 6'4", and he had the 3/4 release.
Right.
But the 3/4 release was here. Wait. It was like mine. It was Kurt Warner-esque, Trent Green-esque. By the way, Trent Green had a quicker release than Kurt Warner, contrary to everyone's belief out there. I played in camp with both of them, and Trent Green actually had a quicker release. He just wasn't as 3/4 as Warner, similar to what Rivers was. Rivers was 3/4, just didn't have the arm strength that Trent Green had. So it was a difference. It's a difference in that. This is a true elongated, over-the-top, slow, and I just don't know if this league is allowing that anymore, especially with RPO. I think it hurts him in RPO, Shaun, because if you're going to run RPO with a quarterback that's long, that is that elongated, you're wasting RPO. Why do it? RPO should be flash faking, like you know what I'm saying. It should be that. I think we're just trying to mesh two systems with the guy, and that's my point.
And to your point, now he's got his third coordinator in 3 years. Shane Steichen left after the Super Bowl year. They promoted Brian Johnson, and then they fired Brian Johnson. I got Kellen Moore.
Yeah, we'll see. Kellen Moore had a lot of success with Dak, so I mean, we'll see.
So did McCarthy. McCarthy.
Right. So we'll see. Real quick question for you guys before we move to the next one, though. How difficult is it to, at this point in your career, to change your mechanics or to change your form to break those old habits?
Well, he'd have to be 100% behind it. The problem with it now is when you've already gotten paid and had that kind of success, the process to change it. Every mistake that's made during that process, he's going to blame on you trying to change his throwing motion.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He's not going to look at it like Tiger, who had won all those majors and said, you know what, if I want to win this amount more, I've got to make this adjustment in my swing. And he was willing to deal with the failures to get where he was trying to go. I don't know if an NFL quarterback coming off that big a deal and a Super Bowl appearance, I don't know if he'll be receptive to that.
Yeah. Let's dive into the NFC West. And right now I'm going to put out because of deep. I got the Niners at 1. The San Francisco 49ers are still looking to end the 30-year Super Bowl drought. But they at least have back-to-back NFC West titles thanks to a star-studded roster. Perhaps this will finally be the year the Niners get the job done. But they're running out of time with this core group. Evident in the team's quiet offseason and attempts to trade star players for cap space flexibility is that proving that point. It appears the Niners will keep the receiving tandem intact for now, after placing Samuel and Ayuk on the trading block earlier this offseason, giving them one more Super Bowl run with this core group. With cap space issues, though, and having to pay Purdy soon, the Niners were forced to part ways with defensive tackle Eric Armstead and edge rusher Chase Young. They might not be as talented on the defensive front as last year, but the team added depth with veterans Leonard Floyd, Gross Matos, and defensive tackle Malik Collins. The defensive line shouldn't be an issue with Nick Bosa as he delivers a season-worthy Defensive Player of the Year award candidate. The Niners are stacked at linebacker with Fred Warner and Greenlaw and added depth with Devondre Campbell. The secondary was a problem at times last year due to Hufanga being injured. And then the other safety, Jair Brown, stepped up towards the end of his rookie year. He'll be in his second year, looking for a better secondary this year with the return of Hufanga. The second corner with Travarius Ward and DeMondre Lenore. Brock Purdy answered many questions last year. For some of you might still question, is he a bus rider or is he a bus driver? And that is what the bottom line is. Ask Cam Newton. Is if he's the guy that we think can lead them to the promised land. I'm going to put the Rams at 2, Shaun. I think the Rams have a bounce back year. I think they're actually going to compete for that title this year. They're going to have to replace Aaron Donald. We already know. But listen, I think they did a hell of a job in the draft, and I think Matthew Stafford's going to be healthy to start the season. The question for me is, with that offense under McVay, how healthy is Cooper Kupp? Because now we know they have a true number one receiver as Cooper gets older. But can Cooper still be that production that they need to have two guys and have the inability to double team any one of them? That is what's huge with a guy like Stafford spinning the rock. I got the Seahawks at 3, Shaun, this year. Plenty of talent on both sides of the ball. 3 great receivers, could be argued best 3 tandem in the league. If T. Higgins exits, you already lost Boyd. I thought those 3 were the best in Cincy. Now that's been split up. You can argue the Niners have a good 3, and the Seahawks are right there with other guys. So Geno Smith, downfield thrower. Does he face the heat from having Sam Howell there in the room now? Is it going to create more competitiveness? Is Geno going to step up and be the guy he was 2 years ago, leading the league in percentage? Very accurate guy. I like Geno a lot. We'll see. And then I got Arizona at 4. Not many will agree with this ranking, but there's plenty to like. They made some additions. Marvin Harrison, I think, is elite. I just don't know if they got a guy to get him the rock. That's just my bottom line. I'm not going to spend too much time on them. I'm going to give you my QB rankings for this division, and then I'll show film while you two talk through it. Yep. I got Kyler Murray at 4. I got Geno at 3, Brock at 2, and Matthew Stafford at 1.
Damn. Now you talking about career goals, or you talking about 2024?
Yeah, next year. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me say this, Smitty.
Who you want to show first?
I'm gonna start with San Francisco. You know how I'm gonna jump over the place. I'm a producer's nightmare. Let's start with San Francisco.
Let's do it.
Their only issue is they got to avoid Kansas City in the Super Bowl. I mean,
anybody else,
right? It just kind of is what it is. I mean, you got to avoid Kansas City in the Super Bowl. I mean, nobody can. The NFC Championship game that other year, I mean, hell, they were playing Christian McCaffrey at quarterback. I mean, that just kind of is what it is. You know, you have all those injuries at quarterback. Nobody can overcome that.
Right.
They're doing everything right. They just haven't been able to beat Mahomes in the big game. Major credit to Leslie and Sean McVay for retooling the Rams on the fly in a short period of time. They got some great young players, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams. They got some guys down there that are balling. I'm a big fan of the Rams. They added Jared Verse and Braden Fisk, the 2 defensive linemen from Florida State, to try and mitigate the retirement of Aaron Donald. You know, they're going to be rock solid. I hate that Sam Howell went to Seattle. I wanted Sam Howell to come to the Raiders. I think he's a legit top 12, 13 starting quarterback in the NFL. I've been very vocal about that. But I also don't want to see Geno lose his job.
So hold on, time out. I'll make sure I'm clear here. So everyone in the chat, and you included, think that Kyler Murray is higher ranked than any of those other 3.
He's not number 4. I got him at number 3, but I was going to wait.
I
got him at number 3.
Who's he ranked ahead of?
You got, so I would go Matthew Stafford, Purdy, Kyler, and then I would go Geno or Sound, me personally.
See, I've got Kyler over Brock simply because, and I think Brock's really, really good. But I think if you put Kyler in San Francisco, they beat Kansas City.
Oh, hell no. Kyler Murray will fuck up a wet dream.
No,
I think JB forgets. Like, I know Kyler was hurt half the year last year and they were bad, but like,
stop mentioning the 1 year he was up for Heisman or MVP, homie.
I'm not. I can't forget that though.
What's he done since?
I can't forget. He's been hurt since. But
So hold on.
I can't forget that, JB.
I can. Matters. You know why? I can because Shaun, the quarterback guy in this room, has mentioned this several times, and this is what I just want to give you context on. When you don't have a book on a guy that's a super uber freakish of nature talent and can run around and make plays, you're going to have a fucking major impact year 1 and year 2 in the NFL, as we saw with Jalen Hurts, as we saw with Lamar, as we saw with Brock Purdy. When the book gets out there, though, it starts to slow down tremendously. And look what happened to Kyler Murray. Look what happened to Justin Fields. Look what happened to these guys who had great early success, who has now become what? An irrelevant topic.
And that is true. But the problem with your statement right now in reference to Kyler Murray is his big year wasn't until year 3 or 4. So the book was already written. They already had numerous of games of film on him. Look at his numbers.
He's only in year 4 now.
Rookie year was 10 touchdowns, 5 picks. Second year was 14 touchdowns, 7 picks. Then 24-10. 26-12, and then 20 or vice versa, 20-12, 26-12, and 24-10. He was balling until he got hurt. Is what I'm trying to say. He was balling until the man got hurt. He gets hurt, and that's when we start seeing the differences of him on the field. Is all I'm trying to say.
And I guess what I'm trying to say, JB.
Hey, Shaun. Shaun.
I had it mixed up in my order.
I'm not even worried. I'm not even worried about that. The point I'm making before Shaun takes over here is this. Shaun, I just want you to explain to Smitty why these guys get hurt. This is the quarterback, homie. Why Justin Fields got hurt? Why Dak Prescott got hurt that year? You know why? Because they ran the football, Smitty. You know what the problem is? When you pay a guy that much money, to Shaun's point, let's see you win from the pocket, because that is what the history has told us: win Super Bowls.
Why did
Joe running around?
Why did Joe Burrow get hurt? Why did Joe Burrow get hurt? And why did why did Aaron Rodgers get hurt? And why do Matthew Stafford always gets hurt and misses a couple games? So I don't want to hear that excuse no more. It's football. We all get hurt. Go ahead, Shaun.
So here's why I have Kyler ranked ahead. I think Kyler was an entitled, petulant brat the majority of his life.
He is.
If you go back to him in high school, I was very familiar because I'm close with Charlie Strong and those guys. His whole recruitment, and then his dad being an A&M quarterback, and him going to A&M, then ended up in Oklahoma, then going to Arizona with that same attitude. I think the injury changed Kyler. I think it made him mature. I think it made him see that he's not invincible, because he was a much more mature quarterback last year when he came back from injury. And so I'm the kind of person, like, if you just look at it from a talent standpoint, there's nothing Kyler can't do.
Nothing.
I can give him a pass because Arizona wasn't great around him for most of those years either. I think he had DeAndre the first year, and I think they traded DeAndre and traded for Hollywood Brown on draft day. So I'm going to say this for you fantasy people: Trey McBride will be a top 5 tight end in the NFL at the end of next year. And that's the young tight end there in Arizona. So they drafted Marvin Harrison. They've gotten better around him. I just think he's never had the chance to be on a San Francisco 49er type team. But, JB, don't mistake it. As much as I like Brock Purdy, he's not Kyler Murray. But I get what you're saying as well. But I think a lot of it had to do with immaturity more so than skill set. And I think that injury kind of brought reality to him that, okay, I got to get my act together or this could go away.
Yeah. Listen, the thing is, we're talking about a guy under center taking a snap, blowing his Achilles, to a guy running around. It's crazy. But that right there, to me, just shows, like, this is a guy that has yet to do anything based on his single number 1 overall draft pick status. What has he done that's earned the number 1 pick? That's my point. When I look at a guy, I'm looking at ROI, Shaun.
But JB, he's done more than Trevor Lawrence.
Facts.
He's done more than Baker Mayfield. Like, my thing is, like, it's hard to hold where a guy is drafted against him because if you draft like I don't hold Zach Wilson being the third pick in the draft against Zach Wilson. To me, that's a Jets failure. Like Zach did what any of us would do if they call our name third in the first round of the draft. And we're gonna get up with a nice suit on and go take a picture with the commissioner. I get what you're saying though, JB, but I'm saying it's hard to blame the player for where he was drafted.
But we got guys like Trevor Lawrence and shit haven't played as long as either one of these guys. Now,
but I think Kyler did more in 3 years than Trevor's done in 3 years.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's very similar. I agree because of this reason. You had an NFL rookie head coach for Trevor that was a shit show, and then you also had the same thing, in my opinion, in Arizona.
Right. With Kyler. They're very similar paths. That's why I brought it up.
So, yeah. So,
same thing with Baker in Cleveland. All the changing of coaches. What they go through? 3 different coordinators while he was in Cleveland.
Yep. And the thing about it, those two guys ain't never been in the MVP conversation. So
yeah,
I think it's a fact.
And listen, let's take away. We're in the NFL here. We're discussing NFL rosters and teams, and all things need to be perfect for the quarterback to excel as well. Like let's not put everything around just on the quarterback. I want to be fair. I'm not going to put everything on Kyler. I'm not going to put everything on Geno. But all things equal, the reason I have Geno ahead of Kyler is simple. I like Seattle's wideout core better. I like the fact that Geno has consistently played, even though he got a little bit hurt last year. He hasn't been completely injured for like a whole season, a season and a half like Kyler. I like the transition and the trajectory of Geno getting familiar with this, even though they got a new head coach. Offensively, they're going to be similar in what they've been doing with those 3 wideouts and that running game. So, I think that is why I would always have Geno over him right now until Kyler can prove me wrong. And listen, I've had discussions on the golf with people that played with them, and a lot of cats don't speak highly of Kyler in that locker room.
I agree.
I'm just throwing it out there. So
I know a lot of people there too, JB. You're 100% right. That's why I think the injury was the tipping point for him. Now we'll see if I'm right, if I'm wrong. But I do think he changed during that time period. I'll say this about Geno. Geno could have a movie about his life at some point. I mean, the stuff that he's had to go through, the fact that as a black quarterback, he failed in New York, then found stability in Seattle, and then when the opportunity came, he took advantage of it and got another bag. You don't generally see that with black quarterbacks. They don't generally get those opportunities. So a hat tip to Geno just for still being here. When I look at his film, Geno's got to do a better job under pressure of getting rid of the ball to a safety valve. Like, that's one of the things when I watch his film, like, on certain situations, it's almost like if this isn't here, he kind of gives up on the play. And he's super talented. Now, you're talking about throwing the ball in shorts. If you happen to be down in Florida and you see Geno in the park, man, Geno throw the ball good as anybody in the National Football League now. He can spin it.
Yep.
But in the game, he's got to be better in those pressure situations, big third downs, and either adjusting the protection or finding outlets with the ball.
Yeah. Speaking of Geno, let's show him here. God damn it. You got him, Bailey? Oh, my bad. Let's show it.
So you guys, while we're pulling this up, are we thinking Geno's going to be the day one starter in Seattle more than likely?
Absolutely.
Got you.
Yeah. I can't get over there for some reason. Add it to the stage, Bailey.
To me, in a fair competition, it's very hard to beat a guy like Geno Smith out.
Right.
Can you see the film?
Really spin the football, and he's a veteran. He's mature. Like, even if you're having a great camp, it's hard to see him not having one as well.
Can you see the film? Can you see the film?
No, we can't see it. No.
What the fuck's going on?
Yeah, not sure.
Let me see here. I got.
By the way, while you look it up, I saw your cribs, man. I see you.
They be living good. Don't let them fool you, man. Don't let them fool you. All that Compton talk, all that hood. He living good. All right, here we go, JB. We got it.
All right, I couldn't see something. To your point, Sean Salisbury and I broke him down on our Last Chance Q segment, and I agree with you. Checking it down is something, but you got to train that, Shaun. When you have 3 wideouts that are vertical threat guys, that you want to make sure that we're oohing on the crowd.
And go back right here for a second. It's a perfect example. Go back to the sideline. There you go. like to me, like, I mean, when you take the single receiver on this, you basically got to know that it's free access gimme. Because once you go left on this 3-step route package, you got no outlet.
So right now,
like
to explain
me,
what Shaun's saying, free access means that you can throw a slant, a hitch, an out, and have no conflict in space. That means that number 50 is not there. And listen, he's a pass rusher. They're in a 40 front, but this is what we call fire zone. The defensive end to the boundary is going to drop and make it tough on the quarterback. So he's going to, in essence, be the flat defender to the boundary, and he's really a pass rushing defensive end linebacker who now is a guy dropping into coverage to schematically change things on defense. This is why NFL is so much different than college. So Geno has to understand number 50 is actually a conflict player in free access speaking terms that Shaun's making here. So see, watch 50 get into the passing lane here, and now Geno sees that late because when we drop back under center, it changes the game from in the gun, Shaun, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And granted, the center gets beat across his face.
Quick, too, yeah.
But, again, you got to know that that's free access back there. And if you feel anything come, you got to stay front side because you got options. And I don't want to over-process like one play.
Right.
Because the center gets his ass.
He got beat now. Sometimes us D linemen just make great plays, Shaun.
He's already predetermined here. And look at his body, his feet.
He pre-snap determined he was throwing to the left. You can tell by his footwork.
And Shaun, if his feet work are right, and if we're coaching his feet work, I take 3 and I'm ready to throw the ball. It should be a plant 3 and throw. But if it's not, then I should reset my feet. And now I gather and I throw the tight end right over the middle, right?
Yeah, and some of this is scheme
right now,
too.
Right there. If I reset my feet, look what I can do. I can manipulate the linebacker with my eyes, and now I can throw the tight end for a 15-yard gainer. And that's why our feet are so – now, listen, I know the center got beat, and I know he has to throw the football, but I'm talking about all things perfect in the world.
Perfect world. I get it, yeah.
So, like, he's already predetermined to throw the ball to Shaun's point. So, it's tough. It's tough in this thing. Under center is tough. And the reason they're under center, to all the people out there that don't realize – when you're in the gun, you got 2 options. Hand the ball to the back that you see in there or throw the ball. Underneath center, you got boot waggle. You got play action. You got quick game. You got a lot of things. So it changes the tendency of the OC to the defensive terminology. So the defense now is like, okay, we're under center. We got to play run. We got to replay pass. So I wish we get under center more as quarterbacks. We're so trend heavy that in college we want to run triple, double, RPO, fast, no huddle, and it's transitioned to the NFL, which has hurt the quarterback progression, in my opinion.
Good point.
All right, let's dive into
feet 9.5. Good feet 9.5.
Let's dive into the next deal here. Where do you rank NFC North real quick? I don't know how long you have, Shaun.
I'm good.
Smitty, I don't know how long you have. We got a call at 9:30, so I don't know if we can go. Maybe we just continue it. We got the NFC North still, and we got the
I just knocked it out. I just rolled through it.
All right, so we got NFC North. I'm going to start. It's a surprise to some. I'm going to go Green Bay Packers number 1 for me this year. The Packers are situated to start the season fast, and here's why. I'm going to break this down because I did a lot of work, and I haven't been able to talk about it because we're rushing it, and it's my fault, but they'll need to capitalize if they're going to challenge for the division crown, clearly, with Detroit. After opening the season in Brazil against the Eagles this year coming up, this is the point I want to bring up. The Packers will play 3 consecutive games against teams that failed to make the playoffs last year. Home against the Colts, at the Titans, and home against the Vikings. In Week 5, they'll head to Los Angeles and face a good Rams team, a team they've dominated over the years, but will be without Aaron Donald. After that, though, it's back home to face the Cardinals. And then the Packers really need to be 5-1, in my opinion, headed into Game 7 against the rising Texans. And then here's the whole part. Weeks 12 to 14, Shaun, might be the most challenging of the season, not just for the Packers, but for any team in the league. In a span of 12 days, the Packers will play 3 teams that finished a combined 35-16 last year. In Week 12, they'll host the Niners, who have had their number. In Week 13, they'll play the Dolphins on Thanksgiving night, and then Week 14 they got Detroit. So the Final Four opponents aren't exactly pushovers. They got Seattle, New Orleans, Minnesota, and Chicago. But that 3-game gauntlet could make or break the season for Green Bay. Giving you that context, my number 2 team this year is Detroit. I think the Lions have the potential to start the season very positive. Weeks 1 through 4 provides the team with an opportunity to gain early momentum as Dan Campbell's squad starts off by playing Rams, Bucks, Cardinals, Seahawks. Having 3 home games should give Detroit a home advantage in that dome. Golf is unbelievable in the dome. They started the season 4-0 or 3-1. The time they have a bye. But after the bye, Shaun, they go 14 weeks straight, which I think is a disservice to any team. I wish all teams had the same bye, but that's just another thing. The toughest stretch for the games in Detroit appear to be 14-17. Green Bay, Packers, they got, obviously. And then you got Buffalo, and then you got Detroit. Chicago, back to back. So it's on Monday Night Football. So we'll see if they can secure it. Then I got Minnesota at 3 this year. I won't break them down totally because we don't know what's happening at the young quarterback spots or what they end up doing. But the schedule eases up in November, so maybe they make a run late in the season. And then I'm going to end it with Chicago.
Really?
And then quarterback-wise, I'm going to start again with the rookie, Shaun, because rookies just don't fare well unless you're a C.J. Stroud outlier on a bad organizational team. I don't believe Chicago made the same strides that Houston made in the offseason a year ago. I'm going to go Caleb Williams. I'm going to go the Minnesota QB room at 3. I'm going to go Jordan Love, and I'm going to go Jared Goff. But Jordan Love, Goff are really close to me because either one of them has proved to become the guy when the lights shine brightest. So that's where I'm at in the quarterback ranking. So take it from there.
I mean, I'll be honest. You can't talk me out of Detroit or Green Bay. I think they're the same team, just with different uniforms on. I mean, when you look at their trajectory, when you look at their strengths and weaknesses, I mean, you're buying stock in both of those. You know, it's probably going to come down to health and luck. You know, if they both stay healthy and you get a couple good luck, you know, things happen. And if you're listening, you're like, what the hell is he talking about luck? Like, you kick a game-winning field goal in week 6 and it goes in instead of hitting the upright. Like, right. You're up 5 in week 10 and somebody throws a Hail Mary, you knock it down instead of them catching it. Like, that's when there's some luck things that kind of play into what I'm talking about. And I'm strictly talking about being division champ because I do think it's Green Bay or Detroit. So however people have them ranked, I got a 1A, 1B. I can't differentiate between the two. I would say Minnesota and Chicago are very similar as well. Both, at least on paper, have elite offensive personnel, and both have rookie quarterbacks. So, to me, I have Minnesota 3rd just because I trust Kevin O'Connell a little more than the regime in Chicago. So, because of that and O'Connell's ability to, I think, manipulate personnel and scheme and get guys in good positions, I've got Minnesota 3 and Chicago 4. I'm pulling for Caleb Williams. I think the expectations there are too lofty in year 1.
Yeah, I agree. What do you like with Jordan Love's progression last year? I think through osmosis, I say a lot on the show, he gained huge value by being behind Aaron Rodgers for so long. I think it's huge. I think it's beneficial. I think Penix can also gain some of that this year if he's not forced to play right away because Kirk Cousins' injury or something. But I think he progressed great. I think they have they do have the youngest wideout core in football. I think they're uber talented. I think they've gotten better off season. We go from Aaron Jones to Josh Jacobs. I like that for Jordan Love. I think he's more of a pass catching back, even though Aaron was great out the backfield. Josh Jacobs is a little bit of a smaller version, shiftier version. I don't know. I think you might have the 2 highest paid QBs in the league in the same division in Jared Goff and Jordan Love at the end of the day. So it's a telltale sign here. Here's
what I learned about Jordan Love. He has mental toughness.
Yeah.
Because it's very hard to follow in the footsteps of a first ballot Hall of Famer like Aaron Rodgers, especially when it ended like it did. Because you got to think a lot of that fan base probably was like, what in the hell are we doing? Like, if we keep Aaron, we're like a Super Bowl contender. And to have to play into that pressure, then to get off to a bad start. Like, here's a revisionist history that people, like, kind of get. Man, everybody that I watched on the platform was talking about Jordan Love was a bust and a failure about midseason.
Yep.
They were trying to run him out of Green Bay. And then it finally clicked, and they started playing well. Now everybody's buying stock in Jordan Love. Like, I think he's super talented. I wasn't sure how mentally tough he was coming from Utah State, never having really had to play in the National Football League, but I learned that. So I'm a big Jordan Love believer. Still, I think technique-wise, he has some bad habits from watching Aaron Rodgers. That sidearm, throwing off the back foot. He does it sometimes. He doesn't have to, but he is super talented.
He is. And another guy who I think is super talented, don't get enough credit, is this cat we're seeing right here in Jared Goff. I think he's an underrated, underappreciated quarterback. Obviously, he just got paid the big bag, so somebody agrees with me that he is that guy. I mean, we forget. I mean, took a team to the Super Bowl. Yeah, he didn't finish, but the fact that he led a team to the Super Bowl with the Rams was huge. And then last year, if his receivers just catch the damn ball, he'll probably make it back to another Super Bowl again. I like Jared Goff a lot. I think he's just a really good, consistent quarterback, has the ability to pretty much make any throw around the field, stands in that pocket, has enough athleticism to move around if needed. I like Jared Goff a lot, man, and I think he is the best quarterback in that division to this point, just because I've seen more. I think Jordan Love might be the most overall talented quarterback, but in terms of what we've seen, the wins, how far he's led the teams, etc., I got to go with Jared Goff. I'm a huge fan, JB.
Ranking them, Shaun, I got, like I said, Caleb Williams, the Minnesota Room. Would you put Caleb above the Minnesota Room? I guess is my question to you.
Yes.
Really? Even though, in my opinion, Minnesota's roster top to bottom is better than Chicago. So I think the QB, whoever it may be, is going to benefit from a more stable environment than Chicago will with the rookie. That's why
here's what I mean by that. If you like right now, I think Minnesota, Chicago kind of the same team. If Caleb Williams was in Minnesota and Minnesota's QB room was in Chicago, I would have Minnesota as a clear third in the North and Chicago as the fourth. Because I do think Caleb is talented. And I think if you would have given him Justin Jefferson and TJ Hawkinson and Jordan Addison in year one with Kevin O'Connell calling the plays, designing the offense, I feel different about him than I do there in Chicago.
Got you. So for you, it's less about the Caleb per se and more so about the system and the players around
the situation,
Situation. Got you.
Here's my take with Chicago. This is why I think it's going to be tough on Caleb Williams and that team. I believe they go 0-. I think they go 1-5 versus their division opponents. I think they're going to lose 2 to Detroit. I think they're going to lose 2 to Green Bay, who owns them franchise-wise historically. And I think they'll split Minnesota. And then that is a huge confidence killer when you go and play the rest of the NFL schedule that they have to play as a rookie. So when you can't beat your division opponents and then you got to go on the road and go play, let's say, a Frisco or a Rams or whoever, I just don't think there's an easy game in the NFL, period, especially when you're 1-5 versus your opponents in your division. So that's why I think Minnesota has the upper hand there because of just the franchise structure right now based on O'Connell's third year. So I don't know. That's just my take on that one.
I feel you. And look at their schedule too. I think like their first 5 games, I think they're gonna start off probably like 2-3 at best. Looking at their first 5 games of their schedule too. So like, hey, it's not gonna be easy at all.
Let's dive into the South real quick. The last division here. Of course, I'm going Carolina Panthers. And I want to give you a move I think these teams should make here in this South division, which I arguably think is the worst division in football.
Mm-hmm.
The Carolina Panthers, one move I think they should make, and I don't know if Shaun agrees with this, I think they need to help Bryce out. I think they should do whatever they can to get T. Higgins. The Panthers desperately need a number one receiver to help that 23 number 1 pick in Bryce Young, who had a rough rookie year. But if you watch football and know football, Bryce Young steadily improved throughout that year and got really, really good towards the end of the year with a bad O-line and a bad wideout core and a bad defense. Let's just be honest. Bryce Young was balling last year at times if you really watch him. Now, partly because of the lack of playmakers in Carolina, I think he's going to struggle again. I think they need to get a Higgins. And if he hits the open market, the Panthers should do everything they can to get him. And that's my opinion on that. Now, I got them ranked last, of course. The Saints, I gave them an offseason grade of a B-. The additions of Talisi Fuaga, Willie Gay Jr. at backer, Kool-Aid McKinstry, who Shaun likes a lot. They got Spencer Rattler, we don't think will play right now. Cedric Wilson, I like a lot for them as receiver. And then they got Chase Young. I thought they lost Marcus May. They lost Andres Pete, a great old offensive guard who's a Pro Bowler. They lost Michael Thomas, a veteran. And then they lost a great locker room guy in Jameis Winston. My analysis of this roster, it's a veteran-filled roster. And I think New Orleans balanced the present and the future after saying goodbye to key players and hello to prominent rookies. So we'll see what they do. I think they are far removed from the Drew Brees days with Sean Payton, but they neglected, in my opinion, the full rebuild route the past 3 seasons and missed the postseason in every year in that span. So it seems like the organization seems to have finally adjusted after parting with Michael Thomas, Marcus May, and Andres Pete. The moves they made provided some cap flexibility moving forward. But for the most part, the 24 Saints should have a similar look to last year, in my opinion, because of one reason, and that's Derek Carr. So in my opinion, the move they need to make is fix the salary cap. The Saints need to follow the Rams model of 23 when they got rid of a lot of veterans to repair the salary cap, which looks good now for the Rams headed into this year. I think the Saints need to do the similar thing. I got them in 3 because right now there's $83 million over the cap, just throwing it out there. The Falcons, I got at 3. It is what it is. At 2. I got the Falcons at 2 in this division. But I also, in my opinion, I think, and I'm on record, I'm going to probably have to change and eat crow. I think this is the Falcons' league to lose. And if they lose it, it only will be to the Bucs. But I think the Bucs are going to hit a little bit of a wall because of their age. They are very old on defense. I think defensively they're going to struggle to stop teams. It's going to put Baker in a very, very peculiar situation on having to force things, which we know he's not great at. And Shaun will break him down. But I think Baker, I'm with Shaun on Baker. I'm not a believer. I never have been. So I think Atlanta can steal this division, especially with, I think they're tied for having the easiest schedule in the NFL. So I think the Falcons offseason grade, I gave them a B. The addition of Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix, but they also got Darnell Mooney and Rondell Moore, and then they did get better up front defensively and offensively. But they did lose Cordell Patterson, and they lost Jonnu Smith. So we'll see if they can recover from those spots and get Pitts involved and make sure that he's the guy that they thought he was when they drafted him. And then Tampa Bay, I gave them an offseason grade of a B-. Again, they got edge rushers, Randy Gregory. They got a center in Graham Barton. They got another edge rusher in Chris Broswell. And they got an offensive lineman in Ben Bredson. But they lost Carlton Davis and Devin White. So, it's going to be a crapshoot, Shaun, in my opinion. So go ahead and take it.
Shitty division. I mean, just call it is what it is.
Right off the back, huh? Just right.
Yeah, I'm a diehard Bucs fan, but I mean, I'm not sitting here. I think we've won 3 in a row, so we're going for 4. I think NFC South crowns in a row. But last year, I think it was below 500 when we as the winner. So only one team has gotten into the playoffs out of this division, I think, in the last 5 years. So I would say New Orleans should be the leader in the clubhouse. I think their combination of Derek Carr, Alvin Kamara, Chris Olave, no matter what you think of Carr, is as good as anybody in the division. And I think Kamara kind of gives them, the nod in their favor. I say that because we think Drake London and Kyle Pitts are really good, but we don't really know. We're going to find out. They're talented. They were drafted high. We're going to find out. In Tampa, Mike Evans, to me, should be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he's older. He looked like he couldn't run last year. I mean, you don't generally find new legs at this point. And then the Tampa Bay backfield, is kind of in disarray. And they drafted Graham Barton for a reason. That offensive line is probably the worst in the division. And then, Carolina is Carolina. Until the owner gets out of the way, I don't think they're going to find a lot of success. But I think I got New Orleans to win the division. I think Atlanta's going to finish second. I think Tampa, unfortunately, is going to kind of get old overnight. I agree with JB on defense. I think they got some significant issues when it comes to getting to the quarterback. just some guys getting older. And then I've got Carolina still at the bottom. From a quarterback standpoint, I'm going Kirk Cousins 1, I'm going Derek Carr 2, Baker Mayfield 3, and Bryce Young with a huge upside 4.
Love it. That's strong
Go ahead,
there.
go ahead and rank them, Smitty. Go ahead and rank them.
I'm gonna go teams. I mean, while you're watching the showing the film here, I actually got the Falcons winning it all. Not winning it all, winning the division, obviously. Just with the talent. I know, like you said, Shaun, we got to see it, but I just feel like that division's bad, and I want to go with the most talented team. And I think they got a shit ton of talent on that Falcons roster. So I got the Falcons winning it. I got the Bucks coming in second. I do. You guys make a good point about them getting old. But I thought Baker showed me something last year, man. Baker showed me that he's better than what we think. He's not amazing, but he's a guy who can win games, who can show up big in moments, and and at least get that team to the playoff. And I still believe in Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. I know they're getting older, but that veteran savvy that still got that championship, aura a little bit, in some of those players. So I think they'll find a way to at least get to the second place spot. Got the Saints coming in at third. And then, Panthers. I think we all agree the Panthers will be in fourth place. The Panthers, until the Panthers show me something, I will never put them, in the top 2 spots. Like I got to see it to believe it in that sense. And then you rank your quarterbacks as well. I would go Kirk Cousins, Baker, number 2, Derek number 3, and then like you said, Bryce number 4 for now.
Shaun, another wind-up guy here, similar to what we broke down with the other wind-up guys that we broke down in Jalen Hurts, Goff, big wind-up guys. Goff's advantage is arm strength and height versus these other guys. These are all shorter stature guys with not big enough arms to get away with the elongated motion. I think it cost Baker late in games a lot of the time, and just his pure inconsistency of turning the ball over in optimistic times. I just think that he turns the ball over far too much in critical situations. I've never been a believer. I love the grit and the fight in him, staying around the league and fighting and going to the Rams in 2 days, learning the protection, beating a team on Monday Night Football. I give him a lot of credit for that. I love the fact that he did that a few years ago. He's a journeyman, been around. He won a game in Cleveland, the playoff, beating a rival in Pittsburgh. He's done some good things, but overall inconsistent. And I just don't know if he's the guy to get a team over the hump that's aging like they are. And Mike Evans, good as it gets.
So here's what's interesting. Baker's a role player that thinks he's a super max guy.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with having confidence, but his turnovers come from the fact that he tries to do things that he just incapable of doing. It's almost like the Denver Nuggets, and I hate to make a basketball analogy, we're talking football, but Kentavious Caldwell-Pope probably can go in any rec in America outside of the NBA season and put up 60 anytime he wants. Yeah. But he understands on Denver, he's not Jamal Murray, he's not Joker.
Right.
Baker's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, but he thinks he's Joker. And that gets him in trouble. And that's why I think the Bucs ceiling is what it is. And, I mean, think about the Lions game. He turned the ball over. That's why they lost. I mean, he made a couple of bad decisions, inaccurate throws. And, listen, I'm all for Baker. I like that he fought back from, being considered a bust to at least being viewed again as a legitimate starting quarterback, which I think he is. But I just wish he would play within his means more often than not. Come on, Baker. Let the guys around you cook. If he played like Brock Purdy, the Bucs would be better. Brock Purdy's a perfect example. Brock Purdy doesn't get outside of what he's capable of doing. He just runs the offense. He executes it. If he has to run every now and then, he will, but he doesn't try and do anything overly crazy. Baker thinks he's the second coming of Brett Favre.
But Purdy also has a crazy roster around him, too, so that helps out. It helps out. Yeah.
And a great running game. It does, but
I don't have last year Carr. I got Carr with the Raiders. I don't have him last year at New Orleans yet.
He didn't miss anything.
I know. That's my thing. He's the same guy he was in Vegas, in Oakland. I mean, he is what he is, in my opinion. He's another overpaid guy. That's my opinion on Derek Carr. But here's my rankings real quick. We'll wrap it up. Mine's a little different. I got Derek Carr at 4. I got Baker at 3. I got Baker at 3, and this year I'm taking Bryce Young at 2.
You're projecting.
Yeah.
I'm projecting.
I like that. I respect that because I still believe in Bryce, so I'm not mad at that actually.
I'm going off of transition from last year's confidence that Bryce created to going into a new year, new team. This is my team. I got some weapons now. We'll see what they do, if they can get a T. Higgins or not.
They added Xavier Legette.
Yeah, Xavier Legette's good.
Yeah. And then Kirk Cousins, as long as he's healthy, obviously he's the veteran in the room in that division. And so I like their room the best, period, even with Penix. So either way, that's where I am.
JB, you know why I couldn't, and I'm a Bryce Young guy. I tell everybody, if CJ Stroud would have went 1 and Bryce Young would have went 2, there's a legit argument that Houston would have still been as good. Like, Bryce can play. Yeah. Like, let's not get it twisted. My problem with, I cannot trust that owner to stay out of the way. Like, that's why it's hard for me to back anything Carolina. And I just want to say that because I don't want people to think I'm down on Bryce. I'm not one of these people that thinks he's a bust. I just think when a owner that's not a former player is that meddlesome, it's hard for the people in the building to do their job effectively.
Right.
Yeah, and speaking of this real quick, I said it earlier, him and Goff already got paid. They could have the 2 highest paid quarterbacks in any division. Football, they're in the same division. So going to be very, very interesting. So you got these quarterbacks right now on the precipice of being paid big money. So Trevor Lawrence is one, Dak again, Jordan Love, Tua. Which one do you pay out of those? If you had to pick one, who are you paying?
So you said Trevor Lawrence, Tua, and who? Jordan Love?
Dak.
Yep. Dak Prescott? Is Dak Prescott a Cowboy in 25?
Listen,
is Dak Prescott a Cowboy?
Understanding none of those 4 have like done exceedingly or abundantly more in the playoffs than the other one. I would rank them Trevor Lawrence, Jordan Love, Dak Prescott, 2 or 4. Probably down on Dak a little bit because I'm paying a guy that's already failed multiple times on the big stage. That's a little older. Whereas Trevor and Jordan beat Dak last year. Trevor created a comeback against Justin Herbert. You know, so they're younger. You probably can convince me that one of those guys turns into an elite player easier than you can convince me that Dak gets more money and gets better.
Yeah. And next
I'm
week,
not a Tua guy at all.
Me either. Next week when we're on, we're going to break down. Next week, we're going to do a full-on rank 1 through 32 NFL QBs. We'll do that. But let me ask you, is Dak a Cowboy in 25?
No.
I agree.
And
if he's gone, I would venture to say that McCarthy's gone with him, and I would venture to say Belichick may be the guy.
Here's an interesting thing to watch in Dallas before we get out of here. Is Trey Lance getting better?
No. You can't get better. You can't get better sitting around doing what? What is he doing? He hasn't played in 5 years.
I'm with you, JB, but I think if he's looking good in practice, even if it hadn't transferred to a game because he hadn't played, that may play into their decision.
But you're saying Trey Lance is the replacement?
I'm saying if he's looking good in practice, that may play into their decision. A perfect scenario for them would be move on from Dak, get Trey at a rookie discount for a year as a starter. Now we can pay CD and Micah and all these guys that are coming up and find out what we got in Trey. And if we don't have anything in him, then we can restart. But they got to pay CD and Micah. So a lot of that is why Dak hadn't gotten that big deal yet.
That's an interesting point, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, though. If he's showing them some.
Hey,
I don't know if he is. I just brought it up.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Hey, great job. We did it all. We've got the NFC done. We'll break down all the cues next week as we get closer to the summer. And minicamp is going on. Yesterday, rumors came out that Caleb struggled at practice. That's not a shocker to me. It's 7-on-7, and he completed 3 of 12 passes or some shit. Again, we're gonna see. We got our receipts. We made our predictions. Again, it has to do with the roster as well. I just think he's gonna struggle. But
hey, when I'm getting an invite to the poker game, man, I want to get the poker game.
Hey, dog, I'm only about 2.5 hour drive from you.
Okay,
you can stay here, dog. I got room.
Hey,
Shit, come
make it happen. Smitty, come on, get on your private helicopter
if you tell me that you pulling up, and I'll pull up. Well, I'll make. If you say, hey, I'm gonna be there this day, I'll make sure I'm there.
Hey, when white folks come over, you don't show up. It's crazy.
No, that's my brother though. Yeah, it's different energy in there. Bring some paper plates and paper forks and shit, because JB let his dogs eat out.
No.
You be on paper towels over there?
No, we don't do white people shit here. Stop. We don't do that white people shit here. Hey man, we got a meeting to head to, but
Peace.
next week we'll be on, Shaun. I appreciate you. Later.
Peace,
hey,
Shaun.
Long
show
extra
y'all.
hour,
We are
extra
off
half
Monday.
hour. You got an extra half hour. We are off Monday. Give Smitty and Bailey a break, and as we get closer to the studio, and I'll be up there. I'm gonna probably head up there tomorrow to check on some shit and try to see where we are with the wrap and the cameras and all that shit. So we will see you on Tuesday with Steve Kim, Shaun King, and everybody else. So appreciate everybody. Pound that like, subscribe, become a member if you're not a member. We need more members. And make sure you head on over to CoachJBStore.com. Get you some new merch. We got it out there. Women too. Women, we got some new nice little, you guys would say cute shirts. So head on over there. We'll see you on Tuesday. Peace.
Issues get pressed so fast, you don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown, kill the ass a rap. We what the game's been missing.